category of people I had not mentioned earlier when we were speaking about the sectors, and that is a group of young people, school-going children, who are already interested and actively participating in the technology space, which is something really interesting. And in that context, as we prepare to begin, I just wanted to know, I mean, I can see the room is full of young people, but I wanted to know, how many of you are under, what, under 30? Everyone? Good. How many of you are under 25? Good. And finally, how many of you, if any, are under the age of 22? Please raise your hands. Yeah, I've seen a couple of hands up, and those are the people I'm interested in. As we prepare to begin officially, this is a special notice that I will be picking some of you to tell us why, what you're up to and what you expect to learn or benefit, or what are your expectations before the end of the week when we officially come to a close of the Innovate Nairobi Tech Week 2023. Thank you so much. And just as I try to get that microphone, if it's ready now. Oh, look who's walking in. Don't break your necks, but they look really good. Maybe that's where the microphone should start. Do we have the microphone ready? Thank you very much. Maybe we should start there. They're looking so fantastic. Who are you guys? I'll start with the gentleman. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, hello.
Please be upstanding. Thank you so much. May I?
Yes, good. I don't know if it's afternoon or morning.
It's still morning.
Oh, okay. Yes, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm just coming in, so I'm quite ambitious. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I'm just doing.
What's your good name?
Oh, my name is Richard Omondi.
Yeah.
I am a student at Grayson University pursuing a bachelor's degree course in commerce, finance option.
Yeah.
I am fashion inclined, and I am the current Mr. Birmingham, Kenya, and Mr. Birmingham, Nairobi County. So I'm here today to represent the youth in fashion and art industry in the Nairobi County sector. Please call him, ladies and gentlemen. Just before you sit, I mean, clearly I'm not very fashion sensible. I know there's usually Miss Kenya, Miss Nairobi, Miss, but what does it mean to be Mr. Birmingham, Nairobi, Kenya? That. So Birmingham is an art industry that tries to focus on creating sustainable future for the upcoming generation. The reason why we chose Birmingham is because the Birmingham town, now the Birmingham in England, is known for its industrialization in the past. So you haven't been to Birmingham? No. All right. But that is the sense. Thank you so much. Let's have the lady.
Hello everyone, my name is Ongaki Ruth. I am a model, a visual artist, and a part-time student. I am Miss Birmingham, Nairobi County, and I'm here to represent the Birmingham family. Thank you.
Clap for her. And now the 4, 5 ladies and gentlemen, young people that promised me that they were under 22. I hope they don't disappear. I still remember the gentleman in brown. Is that brown? Yeah, you. Please give him the mic. You will introduce yourself and tell us what you do and what you expect by the end of the week. Thank you so much.
Good morning, guys. So my name is Ian.
Please raise your...
My name is Ian Okoth. I'm a student at the Technical University of Kenya. I am currently pursuing electrical and electronics engineering.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm here representing the IoT community, Internet of Things.
Okay.
Yeah, and also basically the hardware engineering community.
So that's triple E, yeah?
Yeah,
Please go again.
electrical and electronics engineering,
Which year?
second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
I happen to have someone in my family doing that. I'm just trying to remember which year it is. I think it's third year, but it's nice to see you. Thank you so much. The gentleman is sitting next to you as well.
Good morning. My name is John Juguna, currently a student at the Technical University of Kenya. Bachelor's of Engineering, Electrical and Electronics Engineering, and I'm so fortunate to attend this session, and I'm hoping to learn and interact and connect. Thank you.
Fantastic. So you guys come from the same school. If the rest of them come from the same school, then I'm going to look like I'm biased. Where are the rest of the under 22-year-olds that raise their hands? Once again, I need to locate you. So this time, no one is raising their hands. Oh, it was you. Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Lynette Mboro. I'm a student of University of Nairobi, currently pursuing Bachelor of Arts in International Relations. So I came here to see the scope of where technology is going to take us in the future, to know which place international relations can find its home in technology and even in the innovation of our capital city and even our country. Thank you.
Wonderful. Clap for her. I mean, she's under 22. I can't remember what I was doing at your age. I was probably just busy playing PlayStation and everything else. One more. I think it was from this end. It was you, yeah? Please. Thank you, the microphone, yeah. Don't worry, the movements you're seeing is because we are about to begin. We're really this close.
Hello.
Yes.
My name is Kenneth Ochieng. I'm age 25, and I'm an innovator. Through plastic waste, I can make the flower vases, the sofa sets, and the big bins. So I'm here at least to interact with you, show you how I can do with the plastic waste, so we don't have to burn the plastic waste till now. So we can have the sofa sets that we can arrange there in our Nairobi CBD, in our schools, and everywhere in public. Yeah.
Thank you. Clap for him. Just before you sit, is this something you're planning to do or something you're doing?
Something I've already done, and
Yeah.
I have the pictures here.
Yes. Ah, the young man is shining.
This is the sofa set.
Please show it to them.
This one. And you can see I've met Mr. President William Samoei. He's seated on the seat.
Okay.
You can see. Now here. This is the plastic bin that you can use it everywhere where we have more plastic waste, so that we stop of polluting our drainages and environment, stop burning the plastics. We can use the plastics on a better idea,
Yeah.
and decorate our Nairobi as useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That is the spirit of innovation. So that is recycling.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Kennedy Ochieng, right?
Yeah, Kenneth Ochieng.
Kenneth Ochieng, very important. And now, because this young man has gotten an opportunity to shine, please take your seat. He's gotten an opportunity to shine. I'm just wondering if there are any other. I think when I asked about startups, someone raised their hand. Remind me who that was. Startups. Let's get the mic to the gentleman behind. You will tell us what you do, your name and what you do.
Hello,
Hi.
my name is Owen Albert,
Okay.
CEO Kingstage Entertainment. Our company, we are educating the uprising generation on conservation of environment and our wildlife. So we're expecting maybe we can learn something on how we can maybe go ahead on educating them.
How do you do that? Sorry, the educating bit, thank you.
So actually we are using the power of art games. Yeah, so that is to bring the young kids closer so that they may be attentive on what we are educating them.
Fantastic. Good job. Clap for him. Do you have anything to showcase like Kenneth?
No.
You didn't carry. You didn't think you were going to get an opportunity.
But people can visit our website. That is www.kingstargent.com.
Kingstarch.
Kingstarch, yes.
Can you spell the last word?
It's the name King.
Yeah.
Then star. So it's Kingstarch.
Oh, okay.
Then you put a J at the end, so it's Kingstarch.
Ooh, young people and innovation. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
There's a gentleman. Now everyone wants them. I didn't see you guys when we were asking about startups. But you'll get the chance anyway. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Edwin, CTO and co-founder of Snack Health. Snack is spelled S-N-A-R-K. We are addressing the issue of cost. So this is a healthcare. We're building a new way to pay for healthcare. So basically, we are trying to lower costs for patients and payers. And just to give you a little bit of context, only about 23% of Kenya's population have access to some form of healthcare, whether it's NHIF or private insurance. Yes. So we are coming in, what we are doing is basically the journey starts with the telemedicine, but then we're leveraging on your data. So with the patient's consent and doctor's consent, we monetize on the healthcare data. So we anonymize it. We don't expose, your sensitive information out there. But once the data customer buys the data, we split the revenue among the three players. The patient gets money, doctor, and Snacket as a platform. And that way, then the patient is empowered to pay for the next visit without worrying whether they have cash or not.
Please remind me your name again?
Edwin.
Edwin, before you sit, unfortunately or fortunately, I've got some questions before we move to the next gentleman. You started with your reducing cost of healthcare.
Yes.
I'm not sure I heard, all I heard is the patient earning money.
Okay, yeah. So two things, access to healthcare and cost to healthcare. Those are the two main problems that we are seeing in health tech industry as we speak. The access bit, there's a lot of progress going on with telemedicine. I'm sure in the audience, people have used telemedicine apps before to connect to doctors. That's good, it's helping. You can get to a doctor's fast, but now the question is, can we afford it? I can get to the doctor as quickly as now, but then, so the affordability part is where now we are trying to crack it, all the players in the industry now.
Okay, one last thing. You guys remember, it's a sensitive issue, WorldCoin, yes? So he's mentioned data.
Yes, yes. So unlike WorldCoin, they didn't follow the right process. I'm working with the Office of the Data Commissioner, so before I even started talking about this concept, we started working with the office to make sure that as a data processor, are we following the right process? So we have the certification. It doesn't mean I can go around playing around with people's sensitive data, but at least that's the first step we did, yeah.
Congratulations, I'm being too hard on you. There was a gentleman with a big afro. There are two gentlemen on my left. We'll start with the most persistent one in glasses.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Ian Mudomi, founder and CEO of a company called Vision Drill. So what we do at Vision Drill is basically personalized training and networking. The problem we are trying to solve is, if any of you have tried to take online courses, let's say on a course, you're trying to learn about Bitcoin or any particular complex topic or course in particular rather, and you realize that, hey, what is Bitcoin? Can this be explained in layman's terms? So we use artificial intelligence to make you understand the most complicated topics through our platform. So we have courses on, we offer courses on technical skills and soft skills. So technical skills like coding, and then when we go to soft skills, we have from accounting to emotional intelligence, public speaking, and then basically using AI so that if you're someone who is having a hard time trying to understand what you're learning, then the AI can transform whatever you're learning into like a narrative. Yeah.
Ian was the name, right?
Yes.
Ian, I come from the other generation, the generation that believes in brick and mortar.
Yes.
I did finance and banking in my undergraduate, and the only time I did anything related to IT, it was, what was the name? What's that course that's, you know, JavaScript programming, something of that sort, and I
Yes.
really struggled with it. I think I got a C, and I was really lucky. One, do you charge for the courses?
Yes.
So is this specific for those of you who are really interested in tech and IT, or the laymen, and I'm speaking for myself here, have an opportunity as well?
No, even the lay person has an opportunity as well.
But it sounds really technical, sorry.
Yeah, so as long as you want to acquire any skill, in particular, be it soft skills or technical skills, it's very simple. So if you are learning something and you're having a hard time trying to learn,
It's simple. Please proceed, it's okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is everyone here competent when it comes to using Google search?
Yeah.
So it's that simple. It's like, let's say you're watching a video. Here's the format. It's like there are videos. Let's say you're learning a course on, let me use JavaScript that you mentioned, for example, or Java.
Yeah.
And then you've heard a term there that you don't understand. You are watching a video. There's a search bar right up top on our interface, right there. It just looks like Google's interface, search bar. And then it asks you questions like, are you understanding what you're learning? And then if you tell it no, then it will break what you're learning in a way that is that you can understand. It will tell you like, it will break it down for you in a way that a 5-year-old can understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really hope it does. Thank you so much, Ian Muthomi, right?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. There's a gentleman behind you as well, and then we'll come to you, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I'm Ochieng Warren. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Intelliverse AI. So at Intelliverse AI, we use artificial intelligence to solve most of the Africa's pressing problems. Currently, we have a tool for insurance, which we help people access insurance on WhatsApp. So the bot can actually help you onboard your insurance from getting what you want, and then we also explain to us what we may need in insurance, and then we can enroll you to the best policy out there that can work for you. So we are like improving accessibility to insurance through artificial intelligence. And so currently we have just a WhatsApp bot, which most people can use. So we are going to onboard other platforms, such as people are using Facebook, people are using Instagram, call, but then just improving accessibility to insurance through artificial intelligence. So we have tried to streamline the whole process, making it easy, because I think most Kenyans and also people across the board do not get that access to that insurance policy, and people still feel it is expensive. So that's like what we're doing.
I was just checking the name of the lady I deal with when I need anything insurance. Her name is Sylvia. What's the difference between chatting a bot on WhatsApp and calling Sylvia? At least she speaks to me.
So one, when you call Sylvia, most likely you've interacted with Sylvia, right?
Yes.
So you know Sylvia.
Yeah.
What of those people who don't know Sylvia out there? So we maybe have, like, say you, then also when you have to call Sylvia, then Sylvia has to remind you maybe of the day you're supposed to pay up your premiums and all that. But then if you have a bot on WhatsApp, you are always on WhatsApp. The bot can remind you when your next insurance premium is supposed to be paid, when you need to maybe get other stuff out there. So like the bot is tailor-made to you, and also it can also help you recommend other policies that like can apply to you out there.
I'm sorry, I haven't been checking my back. As you've noticed, our chief guest is already here and is now going around the exhibition. I want to thank you for your patience. Once again, we will be beginning not too long from now. There's a gentleman too. Please, there's a lady who was helping me with the mic. Thank you so much, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Moya Kalioki Peter.
Moya.
Okay, I'm a developer manager from Keja Solution. For us, we are providing solution in the real estate market. We are leveraging on the power of GIS system, that is geolocation and artificial intelligence. So for us, we are making it simple for anyone who is looking for a new house. So it is simple. You will just conduct a simple search from our website. Then you'll be able to connect yourself with the house of your choice. So it is something that you can do in real time. It's simple, it's accessible to anyone.
I'm sorry, I think I missed the part. What does it do again?
So for us, what we are doing, we are leveraging on the power of geolocation and artificial intelligence to provide services in the real estate market.
Mm-hmm.
So we are connecting the developers and the sellers, buyers in the market. So for the developers, they are able to market their product in our platform. And whoever is willing to buy their products, that is the units, they can again access that product from our platform. And our platform, it's called Keja Solution. I have a brochure here to show whatever I have.
Yeah.
So you're invited to join us at Keja Solution. You can reach us on our platform.
Thank you, sir.
www.kejasolution.com.
I thought you were about to read out a number. It's fine. Thank you so much. This man is a brilliant salesman. I'm sorry. So that's about houses. But I'm sorry. I know that maybe this is a question we can ask His Excellency the Governor and the President. But I'm sure most of you in the audience will agree with me that when it comes to real estate, really, unless it's a house you're looking to rent, that's when you normally struggle with locating. The problem now is the cost. I've met 40-something, 50-year-olds who the houses they live in right now, if they were to take a step outside and you ask them to buy it again, they can't afford it because the cost of housing has gone extremely high in this city. And I'm sure you've seen those clips of people talking about how 50 million shillings would give you this type of house in Nairobi, and the same amount would give you a very big house probably in another country. But thank you so much. Before we go to the last gentleman right in front, I am being reminded, housekeeping issues once again. This row is complete. Thank you very much for being good students. But I'm going to ask the people on that row to try and fill the first three, especially. I know no one wants to sit on that end, but may I kindly request that we fill the first three rows, and then the rest of you can sit behind. Thank you very much. As they continue doing so, and because I know some of you by name, now I'm tempted to call you, including Ian. Please assist me with filling the front 2-3 seats. Thank you so much. You might be lucky, especially if you sit in front. The gentleman in front wanted to speak as we wrap up the session. As you can see, the Governor, His Excellency Johnson Sakaja, is still going on with going around the exhibition, so we should be beginning in not too long from now. Thank you so much. Let's get the microphone to this gentleman.
Jambo nyote.
To Jambo.
My name is Kipruto Rugut. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Kidaftari. We have about 7 million MSMEs in Kenya, and 1.5 of these are SMEs. Unfortunately, majority of these SMEs like out of 10, 4 would shut down within the first year. Sorry, out of these 10, around 4 will shut down within the first year. And some of the challenges they are facing is access to credit, sustainability, and of course, financial management. Speaking of financial management, over 60% of these SMEs really struggle in handling their books and handling how their finance moves around. So we sought to develop Kidaftari Accounting, an innovative web-based solution that handles bookkeeping and payment on one platform. Similar solutions do exist in the market, but most of them are very expensive, and they're not really tailored to the African economic landscape. So we then have Kidaftari Accounting, Kidaftari for Swahili, for a notebook. And this is what we offer to SMEs, hoping that they will have solutions for their record keeping, financial management, and hopefully be able to access credit, or rather increase their credit worthiness. So that's who we are. I'll take questions from anybody who wants to know about us. I can tell you a bit more about who we are. We have been in the industry now for, this will be our 3rd year, and we have customers ranging from real estate. We have customers in retail and distribution. We have customers in education, especially manufacturing. Manufacturing is one of our biggest clients. We have customers in transport, logistics, building and construction, and the likes. And what we provide is a very intuitive, user-friendly, and affordable platform for users to be able to maintain that competitive edge and use this data essentially to then be able to access credit from the financial institutions. So I don't know if you got part of what I said. I'd love to repeat myself. I don't mind.
It's okay. For the benefit of the rest, I'm sure they've heard. I wish I had most of it because I like to challenge most of the speakers with a question. But I heard about the bit about this is a solution that's already in the markets, and
Yes.
you're trying to make it and fit with the cost needs of the market. So thank you so much, Mr. Kipruto Rugut.
Yes. Just briefly, we offer bookkeeping and payment on one platform.
Yeah.
So you can imagine for a school, what schools buy is not what they sell.
Yeah.
So you find these inventory items when they are in their store, how they are used can have a cost implication to the owners. So the software allows, for example, a school to manage how they consume the inventory and what that means financially. That is an example of a school. For construction, would imagine a contractor like my brother here, who would have multiple ongoing projects, and handling payments from various clients at the same time can be confusing.
Yeah.
So the contractor in this case is able to manage various projects at the same time and have reports detailing how incomes and expenses have been handled. Of course, we have a POS for supermarkets and the like. So that's who we are, and I'm here to really learn and connect with fellow founders.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rugut. And I think the beauty about this, ladies and gentlemen, is if you realize that the person you might be sitting next to might be your next client. So keep talking to the gentleman from real estate. I forget his name. Please, you can take your seat. And as we do that, sounds like I'm the only one who's not a CEO or a founder. Anyone else who's not a CEO? You're not a CEO. Okay. Right. So I'm going to be coming to those who are not CEOs, but most importantly, I think we've heard a lot about finance, like the last gentleman, finance and accounting and money. We've heard about real estate. We've heard about, I think, health. I'm just trying to see among the subsectors who we have not heard from. This, I'm going to be biased a bit and touch on things that I really struggle with myself, like hardware and robotics. I just want to know if there's someone dealing with something like that here. Hardware and robotics. Hardware and robotics. Okay, you have spoken. So, so I'm going to give the chance to the lady, please. The lady in should be white. I'm not very good with colors. Oh, okay, huh? Okay, thank you.
Hi, My name is Melissa Kira. I'm the manager for a school called Crept High School. Basically, what we do is we teach robotics and STEM education to schools from children who start from the age of 5, from as small as the age of 5 to the age of 14, 15. And also we train students into partaking in competitions that happen worldwide, in representing Kenya, basically, in competitions that are happening worldwide right now. So yes, we're embracing the robotics culture in education, and we're also trying to teach teachers on how to educate more about STEM and robotics in education in Kenya, since it's very new, which means there's a lot of potential in that criteria. Yeah, that's all. Any questions? I think I'll pass it back to him.
Did we have anyone else on robotics? Fine, I'm going to touch on another, because I want us to continue speaking. Anyone touching on smart city? That should be the governor, most likely. Which sector haven't we spoken about? There was a couple of people from education, other than this gentleman. Education, remind me, education. So we're going to have the lady to speak because Ian has spoken. The lady in glasses and in black. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Ruth Wambui from the Technical University of Kenya. And what we are doing there, we're implementing a project whereby we have realized that most of the research that you do in universities does not reach the small and medium enterprises. So we are coming up with a hub whereby it will bridge the gap between the small and medium enterprises and the research that comes from the university. Thank you.
Wow, very few words. I know a number of people in this room who, if we gave them the chance, they would really make very good use of it. But thank you so much. Finally, anyone else who feels underrepresented in terms of the sector? Sorry, this is good PR, free of charge. There's a gentleman raising his hand, and there's a lady on the far left. So we'll start with the gentleman. 2 people on my left. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm George Njoroge. I currently work as a freelancer for a climate company by the name Climate and Business Africa. So what we do, we are mostly sensitized on preserving our environment, mostly as a result of, we all know there's climate change and all that's happening. So personally, I'm a developer. So that means I'm good in IT. So I develop websites for agencies, for all your agencies, I can do that. For WooCommerce, like for e-commerce platforms, I can also do that for whoever is interested. So you can always feel free to talk to me for your digital needs. I'm here to help. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anne Mwangi. I work for a company called Afristech, and we have a brand called Luna. Luna is the first, not only in Kenya, but in Africa, that offers social and commerce. It's a social commerce platform. Currently, we are on Play Store, and when we say we offer both social and commerce, it means you're able to chat with your friends and your business associates within the platform. You are able to showcase your businesses, be it maybe you're selling products or you're in the service industry or you're in the farming sector, you're able to showcase all that you do for free within the platform. We always say if you just all chatting and business and no entertainment, it makes us a little bit dull. So again, within the platform, you're able to, one, create your social commerce, your social media pages. That is either personal or for your businesses. Two, you're able to get content of whatever it is that you'd want to do. Currently, I know we normally have an issue with data, but there's one thing that Luna is promising you, that whatever information we're getting from you is all that we are going to work with. We are not listening that when you go after and I speak of tech, the next thing I'm seeing on my phone is about tech. No, just the information that you provide, that is your interest, is the kind of content that you're going to offer. And again, last bit, if you're in business and you'd like to promote your businesses, our rates start as little as 25, but because we're also looking out for the mamambogas and any other person who'd like to place their ads. So when you get a chance, please go to your phones, Google Play, and download the app, Luna. Thank you. Oh, but it's L-U-N-N-A.
Good morning. My name is Tony Gaia. I am founder of a tech media platform called Gizmunch. This is an interesting platform that I came up with a group of people, as young people. We'd like to, focus on, tech media, on tech content, be it from like the latest gadgets, be it from the tech innovation, be it also in the tech sector. People would like to learn more on like the development sector. And I remember Victor saying that the coding was hard for you. And we also like to focus on that area so that it becomes easy for people who are like to know more on coding. And also, Gizmunch is also a platform for tech where we'd like to, make people be aware of what's happening not only in Kenya, but across the world. But also starting in Kenya, we'd like to focus on, covering on, tech innovation. Like this also will be doing coverage of the Innovation Week and try to get people to see more of what's happening here wider and wider. And we'd like to focus on our goal to, reach a wider audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Remind me your name again?
Tony Gaia.
Tony Gaia. I don't know why it's painful when you say it. I mean, I was all comfortable telling the entire room that I'm not good at coding. But when you say it, it's like when you say, I'm not good at math. But when someone else says, it sounds a little bit different. But thank you so much.
Yeah, also, you're not alone, because I'm also not that good in coding, but I'm trying.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That felt better. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, I have been trying to ask the people who are still sitting on my right to join me here, because I'm told that this part has been reserved for the kids, the school kids who are actually learning something around, must be coding as well. Why do I feel like everyone else doesn't know coding like myself? But anyway, they're learning something interesting on that end, and as soon as the chief guest comes in, then they should be also be joining us on the right, on my right. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have truly enjoyed that session. I mean, it's truly in the spirit of what the Innovate Nairobi Technology Week 2023 is trying to achieve, which is basically to bring together everyone in the technology and innovation space to try and create a better visibility of a vibrant tech ecosystem in Nairobi, in East Africa, and Africa. So a reminder once again that this is a conversation that is not only happening in this room, but is also happening elsewhere within this venue. We have people who are dealing with part of the hackathon team on this far end, on my right, in the room next, the next room. We have exhibitors all around, and we have school children on that far end. As we prepare to officially begin, a reminder that we have, people call it the restrooms, the washrooms. I believe when you walk out, there should be some on your right and some on your left as well if you need to excuse yourself. For those on social media, you remember earlier on when I spoke about Elon Musk rebranding Twitter into what, X? How many of you felt really bad about that? I was really disappointed. As someone who's been on Twitter since 2011. But that's the funny thing about something you can't control, really. You're just, you're reminded that you're just a stakeholder. You're just an account on Twitter. And when the shareholders want to take the company in this direction, then that's what they will do. So if you're on the former Twitter, X-Twitter, which is now the X, please use the hashtag #InnovateNairobi to continue taking this conversation for those who are not with us today, who are not able to join us, as we prepare to officially take off. A reminder that this event will be ongoing from today all the way up to Friday. And we have, what, thousands of stakeholders from different sectors, the ones that I've mentioned. There are people dealing with digital inclusion. We have people in talent, Web3, cybersecurity. We have people in climate change. I asked earlier on, anyone dealing with climate change? Ooh, finally. Yeah, I know you're dealing with climate change, but we're giving you an opportunity. So there's a lady on my left. Had you spoken? Okay, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Anne. I'm a student from Kenyatta University, and I own a startup where we replace biodegradable packaging. Sorry, we replace single-use plastic packaging by use of biodegradable packaging using agricultural waste, that is rice husks. Yeah.
Rice husks, okay. Yes. So that's the outer material, yeah?
Yeah.
Please go ahead and elaborate.
Well, our packaging is 100% biodegradable. We use rice husks and cornstarch to come up with it. And it's basically set to replace or to provide an alternative solution to the single-use plastics because they create a menace.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been running the solution?
For about 3 months now.
Oh, 3 months?
Yeah,
You're
so
a baby.
Currently we are at the prototyping stage. I do have a few prototypes with me here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that our chief guest is not yet here, but we have quite a number of really important people within the room now who can help in one way or another. We have fantastic gentlemen from the banking industry. We have a representative or representatives from the governor's office as well. What is the biggest challenge you face as a 3-month-old startup? And I mean, what's really what you would say is this kind of support you really need at this moment?
Well, currently, financial support, because we already have, every procedure has been, we have already have it. So right now, we want to scale it up, and we can't do that without the finances.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where is it based, Nairobi?
Yes, we are based in Chandaria, BICC in Kenyatta University.
And where do you source the rice husks from?
For now, Chandaria has been helping us, so they have been sourcing the rice husks for us.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
As we get the microphone, there was someone behind you. Allow me to speak to the beautiful ladies on my right and gentlemen. I've been informed that this row, is it a row, yeah? Not a column, it's a row, has been reserved for some school children who are somewhere there. So if it's possible that we can all sit on the side and then the kids will sit here. Thank you so much. Where is the microphone? There was someone really asking on raising their hands on that far right. That was you, no? There's no one. Why do I feel like they chickened out? Okay. I'm not sure it was her, but we'll let her speak.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm Emily Akoth. I'm the founder of Mental Ventures. Mental is a telemental health platform that links mental health clients to specialists via mobile application. You can download it at the moment on your Google Play Store. If you need a psychologist, a psychiatric, a counselor, any type, even if you're at home, you can find them profiled in our app. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Remind me of your name and the organization again.
I'm Emily Akoth from Mental Ventures.
Mental Ventures.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So I was halfway reading out the subsectors where we have representation, and I just got into climate change, startup policy, that's policy, investment, education, health, media and creative economy, hardware and robotics, smart city, fintech, and digital inclusion. Other than my good friends on my left who will get an opportunity to speak later, anyone else in the fintech space who hasn't spoken? No one. And finally, on behalf of all the journalists and the Fourth Estate and the team from Homeboys and everyone else who's doing anything similar to that, our industry is really one of those that has been seriously affected and impacted by technological disruptions. And I'm sure you've seen companies announcing redundancies left, right, and center, not just within our borders, but also international companies. I've seen, BBC, I've seen CNN, I've seen Daily Mail. So it's not just a Kenyan problem. Anyone from the media and creative economy. I'd seen some hands earlier. Media and creative economy. We have a gentleman right here to just give us his perspective. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning,
My
sir.
name is Stephen Kahinga. I am from the Standard Group PLC. I handle mobile business and digital innovation. So my work basically involves working with SMEs, MMEs to grow their business, coming up with technological products within our organization. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to move from content production and media. It's more of we're trying to be a mini tech firm. So we do have quite a number of products in the tech field. We work with a number of SMEs and MMEs. And the reason why we are here is to see what's happening in the field, where we can partner, and where we can help your business to grow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your name again?
Stephen Kahinga.
Stephen Kahinga. Yeah. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now 20 minutes after 11 o'clock, and we're just a very, very, very few minutes away from officially beginning today's program. I'm sure our chief guest has concluded going around the exhibitions and should be joining us very shortly. Of course, I'm not sure if you have the programs, but when he comes in, then we will be able to begin officially. We will have the national anthem and the East African community anthem, and then we will be beginning from there. A reminder that His Excellency Johnson Sakaja, the governor of the Nairobi City County, and his deputy, His Excellency Njoroge Mushiri, are here with us, as well as other guests who will be speaking to us shortly. Soon after the speeches, we will have a short panel discussion. So if you have any burning questions that have not been quite responded to by the audience, or obviously have no responses to your questions, then hopefully we can get responses from the panelists, especially for the lady who was talking about funding and financing. I assure you that panel will feature someone from the banking industry. So if you have any questions, hopefully time will allow us to be able to do that. But as we prepare to officially commence, thank you so much. Thank you so much. As we prepare to officially begin, then a reminder that the social media, the hashtag that you should be using is Innovate Nairobi. And as we continue making those housekeeping announcements, I was really hoping that by now we would be able to get the kids inside this room, because I was hoping that maybe one or two. Not yet. Okay, fine. I've been informed that they are not yet ready to come in, so that means that the time I had allocated, thank you so much, I had allocated for them will still be utilized by us in this room. Great. We've spoken to startups, we've spoken to CEOs, and earlier on I asked who else is not a CEO here. I think I've heard from people running companies, so many of them. I want to know, to speak to the people running the companies on behalf of the CEOs. Anyone who's not at management level in their organization here, please raise your hand. You raised your hand. Yes, earlier on. Do you want to speak? Please get the microphone, thank you.
Morning, everybody. My name is Stella Mumbi. I'm wearing my EdTech hat today. So I represent an organization called ELS, E-Learning Solutions. We use technology to design, deploy solutions, tech-related solutions in the EdTech space to institutions, colleges, universities, corporates. And I'm here advocating for a program. I'm very close to LSAT Hub. LSAT Hub is about teaching soft skills in the 21st century. All techies here know you can have the best solution. You can have a solution that will change the dynamics of an organization, but if you don't have the soft skills, you will not necessarily sell that solution. One. Two, technology has disrupted our world of work, how we do everything. You mentioned that earlier. So the simplest example would be how you interview in person is very different to how you interview online. We know, some of us know we need to have our mics on, cameras on, but sometimes that goes over our heads. So yes, that's what I'm advocating for, soft skills in a 21st century setup.
Thank you so much. Soft skills in the 21st century setup. I mean, this is something I'm fond of doing, especially when I get a chance to MC and moderate events. Unfortunately, because of the setup we normally have for events, only 2-3 people who get to come to the panel are the only ones who get a chance to give us their knowledge. But really, looking at the representation and some of you who have spoken, really all of you are playing a very significant role in different subsectors, and we just don't get enough time and space to really consume and utilize the expertise and the knowledge that you have. The next opportunity I'm going to give I want someone, a volunteer, who, like me, the industry they work in has been seriously affected by technological disruptions and what they had to do to keep up, as opposed to fighting the technological disruption, but also going along with it and keeping up the pace. Any volunteers? You have spoken. Let me see if there's any other volunteer before I talk to Ian. This gentleman hasn't spoken. Sorry, Ian, I'm going to come to you.
Thank you, Mr. MC and the delegates at large. My name is Bruce Matwei.
Sorry?
My name is Bruce Matwei.
Bruce, thank you.
Yeah, I am a founder of a social startup called Feed a Comrade Initiative. We are an initiative where we wanted to address the food insecurity in our company, in our universities and colleges, because we found that this is a big problem that is not addressed by many NGOs and government, if I may say so. And lack of food in our campuses is the lead factor of mental health cases that are rising every day. People dropping out of school, people working at night so that they could be in classes during the day.
So when you say food insecurity in campuses and colleges, what does that mean?
When I say food insecurity, okay, it goes to many things. First, maybe lack of money, because many of the students are sent there by the government and the scholarships. Sometimes, I don't want to say lack of food, but let me say lack of money for that case. Because you see, when going to campus, the government is paying for your help. And for 80% of such students, their parents cannot really raise a lot of money. So they struggle to have money for transport or that. So you find that most of them, they survive on 1 meal a day.
1 meal a day?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, and any students here? Once again, the guys I'd seen from Technical University, or even the guy who's been helping me with the microphone is a student. Once again, any students here? I mean, I remember this joke I normally see on social media about
Kuinama.
I'm sure the rest, anyone else who's my generation and beyond might not get the joke, but I'm told, what is the Kuinama lunchy Peter thing?
It is when it's lunch or time to eat, you prefer kupiga story or speaking to, Kuinama is basically, it's lunch hour. So it's like, I want to translate it, I want to give direct translation.
Yeah.
Napita, mnainama lunch hour ipite.
Lunch ipite.
So that's
Unasikia ni saa tisa.
Yeah.
Quite an innovative way, but definitely doesn't quite.
I'm coming there.
Yeah.
So every time we were trying to tell the people of this problem, and people will say, okay, there's no really there's no problem raising this amount of money to support them, but where's the sustainability plan? So now this is where we decided to leverage from technology. So what we are doing, we are building a platform that connects the students themselves and connects them with the restaurants around schools. And then now we are connecting restaurants around schools to the farmers who produce this food. So we are taking care of the whole supply chain, but we are giving them one conditions, that all their transactions has to take place through our digital e-wallet. So that part of the money that we are raising from the transaction that goes place now goes back to feeding these students who are at the verge of dropping out of school.
I'm sorry, there are quite a number of learning institutions.
Yeah.
I believe the target group is the tertiary level colleges and universities.
Yeah.
There are quite a number of them in the country, maybe hundreds.
Yeah.
How do you map out where to help and where not to?
So we are now taking a collective responsibility where we are rallying all students, all people around schools to use our digital wallet to pay for their meals. So for the students who afford these meals a day, one problem that was facing is that, for example, myself, I was being given my pocket money on Monday. But the thing is that 9 out of 10 times I will use this money for other things. So by Wednesday, I didn't have this money. So what happens? I will make sure between Thursday and Friday, I'll be in school maybe in one classes or miss the classes between Thursday and Friday. So for students who have this money and their problem is discipline, lack of discipline habit, they are saying, I would rather have this money for meals in this wallet, such that anytime I'm around school or I have classes, I'm sure that after class I'm going to eat. And I'm not going to use this money maybe to buy KFC, maybe to take my friends out, maybe to buy liquor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So that's how we are using technology as a sustainability plan for our initiative.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. I am quite touched by the issue because I think it's something I've seen a lot on social media about students going without meals in schools. But it's really not an isolated case. I think I've seen it at all levels of learning, from tertiary to where we are now. Sorry, I've seen quite a number of people I know. I had asked earlier on if there's someone from the cybersecurity industry to just tell us one or two things to represent the industry. No one raised their hands, but I've now seen someone I know. So we are going to get the mic to Bright on my far right. Briefly introduce yourself, the industry, and what you are expecting by the end of the conference on Friday. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bright Gamele Maudo. I'm a cybersecurity lead at a company called Mara, but also a founder of what you call Africa Hack-On, where we try to educate people on cybersecurity. We've all seen the things that are happening in Kenya. I know a few of you could not pay for your services was it last week? And we try to just basically educate people on cybersecurity. So we'll be having a track today to teach the young people how to become safe online, for child online safety. Also later on Wednesday, we'll be having a session where if you've never been hacked before, just show up. Yeah. And we just basically want to bring awareness by showing exactly how hacking happens, what are the ways to prevent your systems from being hacked, your applications, your entire network, your entire lives, actually, and what it means to be safe online. So the cybersecurity industry is growing, and we're seeing all solutions and services and systems getting online. Our digital payments, we are really well connected, but we never know how to be able to protect our data. We, as Africa Hack-On, we want to be able to actually make that easy for people to actually understand. So looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm really loving this. If we have 3, 4, 5 people here, it's a panel. So what is this? It's an audience, audience engagement, a town hall. But really, I think what I've picked from him is just how much, as we continue talking about this all digital migration and technology really forming a huge part of our lives today, it doesn't mean that there are no risks. He spoke about the service disruption last week, and how many of you were disrupted, by the way? Anyone in the banking hall and trying to pay for your parking or pay for a service and you couldn't? How many of you? I've seen a gentleman on my left. Anyone in the banking industry to just talk to us about how important what Bright is talking about, being safe as we continue to leverage technology to make our lives easier. Anyone? I know people from the banking industry, so if they don't raise their hands, I'm going to be forced to get them to speak. Anyway, that question will be responded to when we get to the panel. But finally, I have a gentleman on my left who's been really wanting to speak. Let's get the microphone to him.
Thank you very much. My name is Kamau Gashege. I'd like to commend you for the way that you've handled this session. I think there's a lot more value when everyone's able to share a little bit about what they do.
Thank you.
So I'm in the hardware and robotics space. I run an organization called Gearbox. The name is up there. And 2 others, Gearbox Europlacer and Machine Africa Network of Industries, or Machinani. And so if you get a chance, please visit us behind this wall. We have a stand there where we display what we do. So basically, I've been teaching engineering at local universities for a long time, and was given a task to set up an establishment that intersects between the university and the marketplace, so that the engineers that we train are not only being trained to work, and for that matter, most of them end up working outside of engineering, or many of them, in the auditing world, for example, banking, which is in a sense not a bad thing. I don't condemn anyone for doing that, but it's a matter of a little bit of abortion of purpose, especially if a government says that one of our pillars for development is manufacturing. The people who are supposed to make that happen are the ones who are in engineering, primarily. Of course, there's other skills that are necessary as well. So basically, what we did is we put machines into a center where if you have an idea, you can come into the center and use our machines. You pay us some money, because if you're trying to create something that will eventually be manufactured, it's very expensive to get the machines yourself. So it makes more sense if you can go to a center where the machines are accessible, you can use them and pay for use, a little bit like a gym, in terms of paying membership and then using equipment. And then you develop your prototype, which you then test in the marketplace. So if you think about most of the things that we consume as a nation, they're imported. And so the central thing is that we're giving opportunity for people to develop homegrown ideas that can be manufactured. And without manufacturing, you don't have industrialization. And if you look around industrial area and do like a demographic study, most of the companies in the industrial area are foreign companies, and from only one kind of Kenyan, the Indian Kenyan, with nothing wrong with that, because there are historical reasons for it. But why is it after 50 years from independence, we have so few Africans having substantial industries in this country? It's ridiculous. And so that's really what we're trying to target. We have two companies that have evolved out of our work over the last 10 years almost. We started in 2014, and we're in the industrial area. And one is called Gearbox Europlacer, and what Gearbox Europlacer does, it manufactures circuits. The circuit like what's in your phone, what's in your computer, and so on and so forth. And so we are a contract manufacturer. Our partner, our JV partner, is from the UK. They discovered what we were doing at a prototype level in Kenya and thought that if they partner with us, they get the expertise, because we have local Kenyans who set up and run the entire plant. And so we're looking, for example, to have Safaricom. You've heard the president speak about a local phone for $50. We're looking to see whether that phone can be manufactured at Gearbox. In terms of the PCB, the printed circuit board, that board with all the components that has a green in color, that's what I'm talking about. Many of you are nodding your heads, but many probably don't know what I'm talking about. And so we want to be able to promote that. The other thing we do with Machine Africa is we want to promote Juakali. We have a partnership with the National Federation of Juakali Associations, where the CEO is right over here. And we are basically looking to say, if the government, because the government in any country is the biggest customer, they spend the most money. If they're doing affordable housing, most of whatever goes into the affordable housing project should be made by Kenyans, and furthermore, if possible, people from the Juakali sector. So I'm talking about doors, showers, all manner of things that can be made. So we have a factory where we train people. For example, if you go at the back, you'll see fiberglass doors. So we make the mold using a machine that we made ourselves, a CNC machine, to make the mold of any pattern. And then from that, you can make a fiberglass door or any other thing out of fiberglass. So that's the sort of thing that we do. Tomorrow we'll have a panel from 9 to 11. So if you're available and interested in this subject, we'd be more than happy to have you in the audience. I think I'll stop there. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. That's very comprehensive. But just let him have the microphone for 1 second. I mean, I've gotten the concept, and I think it's fantastic. I have an idea. I don't want to invest in the equipment to develop the prototype, so I come to you. That's correct, no?
Yeah, for the prototyping phase.
Yeah.
And so, and even for low volume manufacturing, for certain types of manufacturing.
Okay.
So for the circuits and for a few things, you can make them in our place until you've gotten enough revenue to then buy your own equipment and set out. So it's like an incubation process.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to ask the question that is bothering me. Might be very comfortable with the rest of us, but it's really bugging me. I mean, so I'm just thinking, if it's an idea, it's a new idea I'm coming up with, then what are the chances that you're going to have this specific machine that will help me come up with it? Just try and elaborate.
Yeah, so well, that's a really good question. So when we were setting up, we had to now cover enough different technologies so that the chances that we have what you need are high. And if we don't, we can refer you to other companies within Nairobi, because we have relationships with a lot of such companies who can then help you to prototype. So let's say you're trying to smelt something out of metal. We don't do smelting, but we can send you to people who in Nairobi do smelting, but we can help you design the mold that you'll use to smelt the metal into, that sort of thing. So we're also an ecosystem player in that regard. But because of the fourth industrial revolution, and I think everyone's aware that technology has never developed as fast as it's developing right now in the history of mankind. So unless we're able to avail the basis for those technological gains are electronics and software in particular. So those are the two things that we offer to make sure that we don't have to continue to import from outside and play catch up all the time. So if you take M-gas, I think you've mostly heard of M-gas.
Yes.
So you want to get a gas cylinder, especially for people who cannot afford gas, they may be cooking on charcoal. They can get a setup where the gas cylinder is brought to their home and a special regulator is put onto it, which when you pay 50 shillings, 50 shillings is sent from the server. You send it to Safaricom, for example, or Airtel. The server then sends a signal to the valve on the regulator to open the gas, and it's timed for maybe half an hour, enough time for you to cook. So that technology was developed in our center by a company called Pego Energy, the first one. The second one, or the third, is M-gas, which you see Safaricom promoting. So that kind of thing is what we assist with in the process. And secondly, we have an academy. So in the academy, we have very short courses on future-facing subjects, embedded systems, for example, robotics, machine learning, and so on. So you can take a 3-month course if you don't have the background in a certain area. In fact, you might not even be an engineer at all, but God has gifted you with that kind of skill. So you can come into our center and we'll teach you how to be very cutting and have a vocational skill out of, for example, embedded systems, access control for doors with biometrics, things like that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Remind me your name again.
Kamau Gashigi.
Kamau Gashigi. Am I the one who found that really comprehensive? I mean, that's the kind of opportunity and the kind of content I'm looking for. Really taking time to help us understand from a layman's perspective what you do and being really comprehensive. I know when the time runs out, I might have to hurry some of you, but really. Right, let's now get to have someone from the banking industry, and as we pass the microphone to them, I have been making this announcement quite repetitively for quite some time. This row, we had reserved it for the team participating in various activities. These are young people in that space, so as they continue to fill the space we have allocated for them, may I ask that the people sitting behind help us fill. These are the rows. We still have quite a lot of space on this side. The two front rows on that end on my left have not been filled. So please let's do that so that we can utilize the space that we have. And as they walk in, I guess this is a clear indication that we are really, really close to beginning the session, the program, the opening ceremony this morning. Is it still morning? Close to afternoon. Thank you so much. Let's fill the two first front rows, please, and make sure that we utilize the space as the young people on my right continue to fill the space that we have allocated for them. Right. Thank you so much. You can go ahead. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Lawi Mbira, here with Diamond Trust Bank. I think I've decided to take this opportunity to say hi before the panel and introduce ourselves as I respond to the other element that has been raised on hacking.
Yeah.
So this being an Innovate session, lots of people in the technology industry, I heard you say you tried coding, you were not able at one point. So by profession myself, I'm a software engineer.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I've done a little bit of coding here and there. Actually, I think I was the very first Kenyan to develop and deploy the very first revenue collection platform for counties in this country. That was Kisikan, way back in 2014. But then things have said, like Bwana Kamau there was saying, abortion of purpose. And we moved, and now I'm in the banking world. Now I'm doing sales, I'm the head of sales. And I just wanted to take 2 minutes to just brief you on what we are doing, who we are, and why we feel we are an integral part within this particular space as we progress to the next session. So for DTB, we are one of the main sponsors for this event today here. That's just to demonstrate how we are part of this innovation journey, how we want to work with the technological partners that are here today and all over the country. But as a bank, we are one of the largest bank in East Africa, having operated in this market since 1946. So we are one of the only 2 banks in this country that are pre-independence. The other one is a KCB, then DTB has been there. We are celebrating our 77th year in operations. We are a regional bank operating in 4 countries. We are in Kenya, we are in Uganda, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Burundi, with a branch presence of over 140 branches. In Kenya, we are currently undergoing an expansion phase. If you've just been seeing in the media here and there, we've just opened more than 10 branches just in the last 8 or so months, and we expect to open 40 new branches just by end of 2024, and we want to be at 125 branches by 2026. That is who we are. Who or what have we been doing all these 7 years? So as a bank, we've predominantly been working with the SME community. We've been working with traders. We are one of the only local banks that have grown organically all these years, working with the local SME and the local trader and the startups. And moving forward, with the way technology is also taking us, we have made a purposeful decision to work with people within the fintech space. And we have come up with a new brand called DTB Astra. And DTB Astra is an outfit, is like the fintech arm of the bank, of taking the bank to the next level. Because for us to move to the next level, we must create opportunities and partnerships and an environment where we can bring and provide banking rails or solutions to the solutions that the dev people are developing today. So whichever application, be it an edu application, be it an agri application, whatever type of an application, most of the applications we do will still require you to have the payment rails. And as a bank, that's something that we are providing to fintechs in this country, where we can provide you an environment that exposes to you all the payment channels that you would require within your application, within your innovation, for you to scale it and for you to take it to market, over and above giving you the capacity building that you would require to scale your product from an education point of view, from a visibility point of view, and even from taking your product to market. Those are some of the things that we are doing within the tech space as we progress. Have I taken my time?
That's okay.
Or I continue?
Yes. No, I'll add you with just 30 seconds now.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Good. So why DTB? Why would I ask you today, if you are not banking with us, to start banking with us? We tend to believe we are the bank for you. We have solutions that are tailor-made for you. We are not that larger bank where you will come to our banking halls and queue for 30 minutes or 1 hour. We are not that bank that is small, that cannot take care of your requirements. In terms of our books, as a bank, we are the 5th largest bank today in this country when we look at our deposit book, that is liabilities, and we look at our asset book, that is the loans that we have given out in this market. When you look at other parameters, let's say market share, ETC, number of branch networks, other places at number 6, 7, or thereabout, but we are a tier 1 institution, an organization you can bank on, an organization that can help you take your organization to the next level. Number 2, there was an issue that had been raised over challenges for startups, financing requirements. DTB is the home for you to come, for you to get working capital, for you to get funds, for you to scale your businesses and your startups or your firms at whatever stage that you may be at. Last one, as I address my friend from the hackathon, I think it's hackathon, eh? So, cybersecurity. I've seen him in many forums. I'm lucky to have met him here today. I tend to say banks have taken the front row step in making sure that we provide technology that safeguards our customers from cybersecurity. But I still feel the weakest link today, as much as we are trying to do a lot technology-wise, it's still the human element. We, the people, we are still the weakest link. We are still the people who will share your PIN when somebody calls you, correct? And the money will be siphoned out. But banks, I can guarantee you, have taken commensurate amount of money. They have spent big bucks to make sure that they put measures in place to safeguard our customers, because what do we sell in banking? I think we sell two things. We sell trust and privacy. Trust is the fact that you know you can keep your money and tomorrow if you want it, you can get it, correct? And privacy, no matter who it is, even your brother, they can't come and say, I want to know what is in this account for my brother, correct? So we are known for those two things. And we can guarantee you that banks in this country, DTB, that I work for, that I know very well, we have taken measures, adequate measures to make sure that we have put in processes, firewalls, whatever you may call it, to make sure that we have safeguarded our customers from cybersecurity. And I will request all of you to also do the same, even at a personal level. Like I said, the weakest link in the fight against cybersecurity, it's still the human aspect, you and me. So communication is key. I hope I've answered.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
very much. So Club for Larry from Diamond Trust Bank, one of the largest financial institutions, banks in our country. He said ranked 5th or 6th, depending on the parameters. And I think he's been really comprehensive, as I had mentioned earlier. I don't know what are your key takeaways, but I've picked the fact that they're not just focused on giving you the money. They also try to help you with issues of capacity building, so that we are not just supporting you with the funding for this idea, but anything, taking it to the market, they'll still walk the journey with you. So I think that is really good. Clap for them. I'm sure the audience always believes that the banks should do more, but the banks believe that we should do more, and that we are the weakest element, the weakest link in that protection of our data and our funds and our money. But that's a continuing discussion. I think I wouldn't be wrong to say that we have really had a robust discussion with everyone on these 2 rows. So it wouldn't be selfish for me to now limit the remaining time. There's a lady really asking for just one chance on this side, and then I assure you the remaining time that we have left with, we are going to have to provide or limit it to the people on my right, the very brilliant young people who have just joined us. So please be brief. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Grace Oshori. I wanted to add on what Larry and Mr. Kamau talked about. I work for the Aspen Network Development, for the Aspen Network of Development Entrepreneurs, in short, ANDI. I lead the East African chapter that covers about 5 countries. We are a network of organizations that support small and growing businesses. So when you talk about financial and non-financial support for SMEs, we are the organization that brings that support together. We have donors, investors, capacity building, ESOs as members of our network, which is quite robust to be able to empower any climate tech innovations that we have in our institution. On Thursday, we'll be running a panel at 9 a.m. that is going to be on the sustainability panel, and we'll also be hosting the invite-only cocktail on Friday. So know that as innovators, there's a whole ecosystem behind you to support you. Sometimes you don't know where the financing needs to come through or how you need to get ready to get the financing. We are a network with those organizations that will help you get ready, will help you scale, will help you get access to new markets with that help that you need to get there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. She's brilliantly used the 1 minute that we allocated for her. A very big clap for her. I was really excited about the cocktail, but I remember you said invite only. So I don't know who I need to talk to, the powers that be, so that I can make it to your cocktail, but really brilliant. There were a number of young people who were dealing with solutions and dealing with climate change. So I believe they should be interested in your panel discussion, I believe on Thursday, you said? Yeah. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, the limited time that we're left with before we officially begin the ceremony, a reminder that His Excellency, the Governor of Nairobi City County, His Excellency Johnson Sakaja is already with us. He's gone around the exhibitions, and he will be with us alongside with his deputy, His Excellency Njoroge Mushiri, and we will be beginning shortly. But before we do that, some really brilliant young fellows have just joined us. I don't know if they are from the hackathon team that I saw on that end or not, but I will really try and limit the remaining time to give them a chance as well to talk to the audience about what they do, who they are, what are their expectations between now and Friday at the Innovate Nairobi Technology Week 2023. I'm trying to be fair enough. I thought maybe we can get maybe one person from each. What is this? Is it a column? But I'm not sure the time will allow. So for those who have already raised their hands, like the gentleman in, that should be brown or gray, we'll allow him to go first. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ogola. I am the founder of Songa app.
Songa?
Songa.
Okay.
Songa is the technology of our border system. My background is statistics. And I happen to be in the industry for about 5 years. What I have discovered in the industry is it's time we got digital. You see, when a motorbike hits you, they run away. Is it?
It's a very controversial conversation, but yes, go ahead.
They run away. The reason they run away is not because it's fun. They are not insured.
Yeah.
Where will they take you? If I take you to the hospital, I'll pay from my pocket.
Yeah.
Or I run because you won't find me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Lawi is a software developer. I look up to DTB, and I'm actually piloting starting Monday. And Astronet, I hope I'll work with you guys.
Yeah.
So everyone who is a border user in this building, my plea to you is starting 1st September, please, let's get digital and let's Songa. Thank you.
Ogola, I'm going to challenge you. I know we're running out of time, but really, all I've heard is, borders hit people and they run away because they don't have insurance and it's time to go digital. But how do you come in and what's the solution you're bringing?
Okay, as a Songa, what we are doing, we are digitizing the industry, not the trip. We bring on board everyone who has a key to play in the border. So if you are, for example, the city government, we don't have any designated station or a stage for motorbikes. We have about 3 million motorbikes in Kenya.
I really wish the governor was here already, yes?
We don't have, so they have to stand at a Matatu stage or somewhere along the line because they're not digital enough to know what works for them. So what I do is I bring each and everyone who has a role to play in the industry, either as someone who sells insurance. So when the accident happens, we as Songa, we will launch the claim. We will do the submittals, the insurance premiums we'll pay as a company, and then at an individual level, we'll make sure that that motorbike gets some other services. When we talk of banking, 3 million riders in Kenya today, no bank account, or at least 10%, and we want to bank them. These people generate 1 billion in one single day. there is nowhere Boda Boda rider will go and say, I need a loan of 100K. I am a Boda Boda rider.
Okay, brilliant. Brilliant pitch by Ogola. Clap for him. The journalist in me is obviously itching to ask you so many questions, but the time will not allow. My only comments to make is I'm still not quite sure, and you'll get an opportunity to talk to the rest of the audience on their personal capacity, whether you're digitizing, say what, records of the number of border owners in Nairobi or Kenya, or whether you're trying to make it easier for them to launch an insurance claims, or whether you're trying to help them get financing from our friends in the banking industry. It's still not quite clear, but you will be speaking to each one of them personally, and I hope your pitch will also elaborate and they'll understand even better. Thank you so much. Let's get to the lady who has the microphone now. Thank you.
Okay, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good too. I'm Priscilla Adhiambo from NAIROBI Trust. Nairobi with an TS, NAIROBI. So at NAIROBI, it uses technology to transform the lives of youth. So for instance, when I was starting at NAIROBI, I did not have any background in tech. So they do basics in computer learning, and then after that, you advance to web development and UI UX design. So what NAIROBI does is that, for instance, if you remember the campaigns in the previous elections, most of the alumni from there were involved in campaigns, social media campaigns, creating applications and websites for companies or for people who require tech solutions. So for instance, if you have a gap in terms of payment, in terms of reaching people, marketing your product, in terms of having an online presence, that's what we mostly do. And as everyone knows, it's obvious that the youth are people that are mostly vibrant in the tech. So NAIROBI leverages on that by using the youth to create solutions instead of most youths cry of unemployment. So by learning the tech skills, you'll get the digital solutions. And being in the hackathon also, most of people are building digital solutions. Okay. So we hope that by empowering the youth in the tech space, we'll be able to create part of the solution instead of being part of the problem, given that we are having more problems going forward. Okay. So personally, I'm a web developer and a GIS expert. So I create map solutions and applications that serve me. So that's us in a minute. Thank you.
A good clap for her. Really brilliant explanation. Just to get it correctly, so it's a school where you learn about tech issues and all that, yeah? You remind me, when you said being part of the solution and not part of the problem, you reminded me of something I was asking the rest of the audience before you guys walked in. How many of you are under 30? Everyone, yeah? How many of you are under 27? Sorry, it's an exercise. I'm trying to find out something. Under 25? Under 22? The number is growing, yeah. But this is fantastic. So all of you are engaged in tech and, the specific type of whatever you do in one way or another, correct? And I think it goes back to what she was talking about, really. Then if this specific group is already involved in that, then we are creating opportunities and employment and tackling really some of the issues in our society today. Right, we are proceeding. We've had people from two rows. There's a gentleman towards, those are two people in one row, but if people from other rows don't raise their hands, so I'm going to have to be fair. We'll start with the gentleman on the far right.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Alvin Kiveu. I'm the founder and CEO of Umesikia Software. Umesikia Software is a company that builds software that identifies problem, then builds a software that solves that problem. So the best software that we build a software that is a cloud billing software, where ISPs, they use the software to bill, to conduct the payments for billing, and also to distribute Wi-Fi in small amounts. If like, for example, if there is a Wi-Fi.
For the benefit of people like myself and some on the audience, ISPs, you mean internet service providers, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So what our software does is that it takes the internet that is being provided by normal ISPs, then the software, it divides the internet into small bits so that if there's, for example, those people who are in campus, most of them, they don't have money. So what I did, I developed the software so that when I bill for them, the billing, they can pay for 10 shilling for 1 hour. So that's the software that we developed here.
Okay. Just to hold you before you go then, I mean, aren't other telecom companies already doing that? I mean, I buy internet for 5 shillings sometimes.
Okay, so the thing is this, most telecom company, like for example, me, the university that I finished, I studied in Kirinyaga University. There is location where there is not, the booster internet is not good. So you distribute it by ISP, then you use the software to distribute it into small amounts so that people can pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final comment, your expectations before Friday?
My expectation, this is my first hackathon. I've been procrastinating in coming, but now I'm expecting to meet new people and have fun, yeah.
Clap for him. Thank you so much. Lady in red.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Njeri Mushiri, founder and CEO of Earthwise Insights, which is basically a climate tech solution. So basically our goal is to create a platform where we are able to create tracking tools for people in the financial sector, financial institutions, to be in a position to understand the projects that are out there that are climate friendly and how they can contribute to them. So one of the biggest challenges right now that investors are facing is that they do not really have the data to understand the financial implications of them investing into such projects. So the idea is for us to create that. So specifically for today, we are working on an e-waste management project where we are basically creating a platform where everyone in that ecosystem can come together and put their idea, whether they're in garbage collection, manufacturing, recycling. And the goal is for us to create, or rather to provide them with tracking tools so that they're able to assess their impact. And at the end of the day, the goal is also to create a platform, like a crowdfunding platform, where now investors can come and say, okay, this is how this specific company is contributing, and these are the financial implications, and this is what I'll gain at the end of the day. So we are still at the preliminary stages because we are very passionate about putting humans at the center of our solutions. So we are working on it, and my expectation today is to meet like-minded people and to learn from you as well. Thank you.
I love the bit about putting humans at the center. Wonderful. There were some hands towards the front before we can go back. Thank you. There's a gentleman here. Thank you so much.
So good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
My name is Anthony Maina. I am a developer at Neverest. Neverest, whereby we are located in Juja. And as you have come with my senior developers, yes, we work with them, and they're brilliant people. Yeah, we have come up with a solution whereby we are creating a solution for the deaf society, whereby we have created, most of us, we learned at school, and every time the bell rings, we always do something. Are we together?
Yeah.
Every time the bell rings, we always do something, even if it's going to a class, running for lunch, yeah. and more. So we have come with a solution whereby we are catering the deaf society, whereby we are creating, it's not like a bell, but it acts like a bell. When the time reaches to do another activity, we have set up like lights in a classroom, whereby the designated time reaches whereby we can shift to another class. The deaf students who are in a deaf society or in a deaf school, they can at least know what to do next. If a lesson ends and then the class, by then I'm nervous, but
no worries, no
at
relax.
least just cater for
We
my
all are.
nervousness. So when the bell rings, there will be light flashing on the class, and the lights will signify and will communicate to the deaf guys that it is time for them to change to another class or to do a certain activity. So we are running this solution, and on September, we have an awareness. It's a deaf awareness campaign, the whole of September, and we are trusting that we are going to another school in Kasarani, and we are trusting that we shall get some of the partners that will help us in generating some funds so that we may sustain our solution, and we may give it to most of the deaf societies, because as we know in Kenya, we have not a large amount of deaf guys, but we have an amount that we can give the solution to. So we are asking for you guys, as we have as the DTP marketing manager said, they are here to support, and we do ask for support from each and every partners and everybody who is able to come on board. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and it's my first time to talk to such a large number of people.
Come on, guys, clap for him. Because of time, I'm going to have to just pick only 2 people. Please be very brief, and we'll start with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harman Singh Grewal. I run an IT company that creates tech solutions for social issues in Kenya. Last year, we specialized in creating solutions in the legal field. We built KenyanLaw.com, that is the first database that provides free legal services to people in Kenya. This year, we're providing a solution in the education industry. We built a digital version of CBC, so you can learn CBC entirely free through our database. Aside from that, we also have an engineering company that's created off-grid schools that are powered by solar power and are also connected to Starlink. So this means that we build schools that work entirely off-grid. If any of you is in the education sector, please feel free to come and network with me afterwards. My name is Harman Singh Grewal. I look forward to meeting all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings to the end. Let's be upstanding and welcome His Excellency Johnson Sakaja, the Governor of the Nairobi City County. Welcome. Coming alongside him is His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Njoroge Mushiri. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to begin the opening ceremony of the Innovate Nairobi Technology Week 2023. Please be seated. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for your patience as well. We ran a few minutes late, but you have been very patient, and the last session was quite interactive. And the room is filling up as well, as we had anticipated. Thank you so much. If you still have spaces, we still have spaces on our left side. Please go ahead and sit on that side. And thank you so much. Clap for the young ladies who are joining us. And I think really this is in the spirit of what we are trying to do. Technology and innovation touches on every part of our lives, from the very young people in front of us to even our seniors and our parents and our elders. Thank you so much. And as we begin to prepare the opening ceremony officially, my name is Victor Kiprop. I am a business journalist. Most of you know me from NTV, CNBC Africa, and most recently with the BBC. And it's my pleasure to serve as the master of ceremony and moderator for today's session. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to officially begin the ceremony. If we are ready, we will begin with the national anthem. Thank you. Let's be upstanding. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Let's be seated. Before we begin officially, we are going to have an opening prayer. All right. Allow me to take you before the Lord. Let's close our eyes and pray. Almighty Father, we thank you for this afternoon that you have granted us to be able to begin the Innovate Nairobi Technology Week Conference 2023. We thank you for providing safety and health for all of us who have managed to be here today, and for all those who are following this conference online. Lord, we pray for them, that may it enrich them, and may we achieve all that we set out to achieve during this conference. Lord, we pray as we continue our deliberations, please be with us and deliberate with us, and may you enrich our knowledge, help those who are going to be talking to us, so that they may give us the knowledge and their wisdom, and may we all continue to develop as a society. We pray this trusting and believing in our Lord Jesus' name. Amen. Right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for the Innovate Nairobi Technology Week 2023. The room is fully packed. When we began, it looked really small, but we weren't sure we were able to fill it. I can see some of you actually struggling to find somewhere to sit. Thank you so much once again for your patience. And as we begin, a reminder that not all of us are here, that those who are following this event live online, if you are going to be engaging on the former Twitter, it's now called X. If you're going to be Xing, the hashtag is Innovate Nairobi. Thank you so much. And to start us off, I believe it's afternoon already. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Mr. Victor Otieno-Gola. He is the Chief County Officer of Digital Economy and Startups, Nairobi City County. Thank you.
Your Excellency the Governor, Sakaja Johnson, Your Excellency Deputy Governor Njoroge Mushiri, CECs present, Chief Officers present, County Directors, representatives from DTB, led by Kennedy Nyakomita, Kelvin Joka, Head of Product Strategy, Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As my namesake Victor has mentioned, my name is Victor Otieno. I'm the County Chief Officer for Digital Economy and Startups, which is a sector that was established through Executive Order number 1 of 2022 as part of the innovation and digital economy sector. So in terms of our thought process to support innovation in Kenya, we are trying to solve, of course, through the manifesto of the governor, is we're trying to solve the challenge of jobs. So we have currently over 1 million young graduates who are entering the labor market, who for one reason or another are not able to secure employment or opportunities in business. We have a poverty rate over 30% in Kenya. And of course, it calls for us to be able to create economic opportunities for all of them. So we want to be able to decentralize resources to ensure that young people can be able to access or can be able to play a greater role in the digital economy. So as you can see that different innovators who have displayed their wares here, it's not everyone who can be able to access maybe say for example capacity building, who can be able to access internet, who can be able to access some of the basic services that are required for you to innovate. And so as a county government, we want to be able to decentralize resources to ensure that our young people are able to innovate, are able to play a greater role within the digital economy. So how are we doing that? We are trying to ensure that we run programs that are sustainable. So it is not just programs that are fully funded, let's say for example by government, but we want to be able to involve private sector. So we have a model that we call the triple helix model, which is us saying that we need other players to be able to come into the space to allow for entrepreneurship to happen. So in this regard, we are working with a lot of different corporates, private companies. We are working with CSOs just to ensure that we are able to give young people enough resources for them to be able to innovate. And of course, if you looking at this Tech Week itself, or the Nairobi Tech Week itself, is a testament to working together with community. So, Your Excellency, we were able to design this program in almost 4 months. So just sitting down with the different stakeholders, just bashing and asking ourselves, if you were to have an innovation week that makes sense for us, how would that look like? So we had over 8 meetings across Nairobi with over 40 different partners just trying to help us curate this, and that's why you can see it is actually a success. So in terms of objectives for this 5-week program, we want to be able to allow startups to be able to get investments. So as we are going around, you saw we have a deal room where we are just linking investors with at least 50 startups who are able to apply. And of course, moving forward, hopefully we can be able to get more startups, not only for within Kenya, but outside Kenya. Currently, I can report to Your Excellency that we have at least 10 startups who registered for this particular event, all the way from Nigeria, Zambia, South Africa, Egypt, etc. And we are going to, they're going for the deal rooms, as well as they are going to go through an immersion session. One of the sessions that I think is going to happen is at Liquid Telecom, where they just are going to just see how to run a cloud-based solution. The other, of course, immersion session is with Gearbox, with Dr. Kamau, again, just for them to be able to understand, startups within hardware have more difficulty as opposed to startups who are doing software. So I mean, there's quite a bit of upfront cost that is required. So again, just sitting down with Kamau, Gearbox, and just getting that kind of mentorship is going to be awesome. So again, linking startups to potential partners, so that it's not only an investment thing. It's a question of we need partners. We need to work with the county government. We need to work with corporates. So this Innovation Week is going to allow startups to be able to get different partners. We have investors who've come through. We have at least 10 investors who've come through and are going to be sitting in the deal rooms, just having conversations with startups. One of the challenges that investors face is actually a challenge in terms of pipeline. So an investor would come to Nairobi or come to Kenya, but they would say, where are the startups, where are the innovators? So through this platform, of course, as well as the Innovate Nairobi platform, investors can be able to discover startups outside of fintech. So whenever we talk about startups, there is always a gravitation towards fintech. So startups in education, in agriculture, don't really get the limelight. So of course, in terms of value proposition for investors is a great pipeline. Career opportunities for young people, already we can see young people we've already invited. So again, we are going to have a 5-day hackathon for young kids. It's not an ecosystem that maybe they are used to, but I mean, they can be able to learn. You will also notice that the Tech Week is free. So no one is being charged to come to this event. So that we also lower the barrier to allow young people to come and interact with the people within the tech ecosystem. Market entry for international startups, we want Nairobi to be the platform in terms of innovation platform for Africa. We've already started with 10 startups this year. We hope that probably next year we can be able to get more startups coming to showcase and participate within the Innovate Nairobi Tech Week. Again, we hope again to be able to discuss conversations between county government with startups. So as you've seen, Excellency, as we were going around, you saw a lot of innovations. The challenge is this innovation doesn't have a mechanism for it to get into government. So naturally, we have either procurement, natural procurement, which is done globally, or AGPO. So still, if you look at AGPO as a program, it's not a fit for purpose for innovation. So again, this platform is going to allow us to discuss and look for new models in which we can be able to collaborate. We can have collaboration between startups and county government as well as national government. So Your Excellency, even before launch, we have milestones that we want to report that I would like to share with the audience. So currently we have over 25 startup ecosystem partners. As I indicated, this event has been co-created with partners. We have had over 1,000 online delegate registration. So what we did is, because it's a tech event, we couldn't just tell you to come and get a receipt at the reception, but it was done online. And it shows the appetite that is there from young people to be able to engage. And a majority of them, if you look at the data, these are young people. Someone who has an innovation, they don't know where to go to. They felt that this is a platform where they can be able to get that kind of mentorship. So, of course, we have over 40 speakers who are local. We have over 40 partners, as you can see the logos. We couldn't even get space for putting logos. I mean, so everyone was trying to, we would want to be able to participate on this. And again, it's just because of the goodwill, the vision that you set out in your manifesto in terms of being able to support, the digital economy. So as I said, we have 10 international startups who have come from Nigeria, Egypt, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Togo under a program under NEPAD. So the question is, what is so unique about this Innovation Week? It's a question that I've been asked countless times. So there are many Innovation Weeks that have happened in Kenya. So just number one. So this particular Tech Week is fully community-driven. So this is not Victor sitting at City Hall and coming up with a concept. It's Victor sitting within the different hubs. And of course, I get a lot of complaints from my fellow chiefs. You're never seen at City Hall. The reason why I'm not seen at City Hall is because I'm sitting down with the community just to be able to engage. Then whatever feedback I get, I can be able to come back, Nipe Waziri, who can be able to escalate that. So this is the types of conversations that are going to happen throughout the week is different. So we have Web3, we have AI, we have IoT. I mean, they are difficult conversations, but are conversations that are much needed. We have digitization of informal sector. We have the chair here, Mr. Richard from Kenya National Federation of Jokali Associations here. Even when he came, guys were like, this is a tech event. Watu wa Jokali nafanya nini hapa? But I said we need to be able to digitize and find a way in which we transition our informal sector to the digital economy. Yes, they're not as tech savvy, but we can be able to collaborate and see the possibility of ensuring that they're able to create more value. So of course we have hardware robotics with Kamau, etc. And the idea is for us to have conversations that make sense for us as a community and ensure that we're able to offer value to everyone. So we have a fully fledged hackathon that is being run by Africa's Talking that is happening in the next room. And this of course is going to run for the 5 days. And of course we are going to give them some awards. Your Excellency, the Governor has indicated tentatively that he's going to support in terms of propping up that award. So they told me and messaged me and ambia Governor, make sure ameongoza kitu hapo juu. So we have a kids hackathon where we have at least 120 kids who are going to come. Again, these are not pre-selected children who are tech savvy. These are just random kids. We make it a call for application. They said we want to come. They're enthusiastic, and probably we can be able to just take them through different aspects of innovation, from IoT to web development, etc. We are going to do a live podcasting session in courtesy of Baraza Media and Semabox. Again, just to be able to show different angles around innovation. So we have deal rooms where, again, we are linking investors with startups. We have an immersion session at Liquid Intelligent, Liquid Telecom, as well as Gearbox, where startups can just go and interact with the different corporates. We are outcome focused, so it's not just an event. And again, this is a question that I was asked several times. Why are you just doing another event? It's not an event. All the partners that are here, and of course, Your Excellency, you can confirm this, is most of, or if not all these partners, are partners that we want to be able to design programs that would make sense or would give value. Whether it's Liquid Telecom, whether it's Baraza Media, all of them we are trying to be able to, or even ILO together with the Federation, is sit down and ask ourselves, how can we crack this issue? How can we be able to make innovation and tech to make sense both to the young people in terms of economic opportunities, as well as getting opportunities within the county government. So, Your Excellency, allow me to close with an African proverb. I like closing with African proverbs. So, when spiders unite, they can tie down a lion. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Another round of applause for Victor for giving us such a comprehensive background of what we are really here to do and what we expect. And I'm really happy that there are some milestones that we've already achieved even as we begin. Your Excellency, as you were going around the exhibition stands, we had an opportunity to interact with members of the audience. And we were really excited to realize that they are from various sectors, education, health, real estate, and everything. It means technology and innovation is really touching every part and soul of our lives today. And I think the most important part for me is seeing young people. These are 14, 13, 20, 19, 20-year-olds just trying to learn how to make a difference in our world and in our society today. I don't know what I was doing when I was 21 years old. But all this would not be possible without the partners, and I think that's what Victor has mentioned. This is a community-driven event. So at this juncture, allow me to welcome one of our partners, Mr. Kennedy Nyakomita. He's a director at Diamond Trust Bank. Thank you so much. A round of applause as he comes up.
So many people. Okay, to the governor, deputy governor, and the leadership of the county, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm quite happy to be here. I think it's been a long time coming. Victor, I'm very happy. That's how my county chief officer should talk. I think you clearly nailed it. The organization has been excellent. The participation has been good. There's one part I think the governor didn't get. I spent around 40 minutes in this room before you came, and I was very happy. Everybody who was standing up, young guys, 20-year-old, 18-year-old, when they introduced themselves, they were founder and CEO of this and this, founder of CEO. I really liked it, yeah? And the young people are trying to do something. They are making this country change forever. I wish you gave me a memo. I would have also brought my son. I have a young kid like this. And I'm really happy because this is what is going to make Kenya go to the next level by bringing these people in the room. I'm very happy. And I want you to know that when you finish school, DTB, you should remember DTB as the place to go for innovations. We have good shadowing programs for students just like you for innovations. So I'm happy. Let me say it's a good day for the county. I'm told Nairobi has taken leadership of the counties doing this for the first time. It's also good for the country as such and Africa as a whole. You said that you've invited some guys from other countries to come in and just to see what you're trying to do here. It is good to sit and talk about innovation. I mean, in the scale of things, globally, we are not there. When you look at Africa, you think we are doing well. But if you look at Global Innovation Index, what we are doing around innovation globally, you need more of these events. And I've been sitting there when I was hearing these young people talk of how they are developing innovation and so forth. Who is supporting them? Where are they running to? I mean, it's long since we had that big thing, that breakthrough globally. And yet there are so many solutions around here. So, at DTB, I think that's all what I wanted to say, that at DTB, we are working with many partners. We are supporting these young people. I just don't see as many of them as I'm seeing here today. And I was with my head of partnerships. I don't know if she's here. Just stand up and wave so that the young guys know. That lady is called Janet. Please go and look for her. If you really want to work with a bank, you're looking for partnerships, and you're looking for funding, you're looking for a secure environment in which you can use bank rails. If you are looking for access to markets, if you are looking to be supported around governance of something that you have, and you want to have some rights over it. You don't want people taking your money all the time. You've spent a lot of money in innovating something. Look for Janet. Janet, I hope you'll be sitting at our tent for some time, the whole of today, so that these young people can come and find you there. So she's heading our partnership. At DTB, we have something called DTBX. And that's where we are incubating all these innovations. That's where we are having partnerships with new companies, or companies that are looking to get into the market and they are struggling with that. Companies that are looking to be supported around regulatory environments. So at DTBX, you can find a home there. So when I was asked to come and speak around this innovation unleashed for economic opportunities, Victor, I really don't know how you ended up with that theme, but I can say this. When I looked up, when I remember in 2007, when the great Steve Jobs, after launching the iPhone, was asked to weigh in on that innovation. And what he said then was that we should look at innovation as an ability to see change as an opportunity and not as a threat. And therefore, when I saw this, I couldn't help but see the correlation with what was happening then and the message you are trying to drive in this forum. And really, I want to thank the governor for taking this leadership. A lot of countries talk about innovation, but we don't have it coming together. We don't have the political leadership showing the way. And that's what differentiates successful countries from non-successful ones, where government shows leadership, where government creates an environment where innovation can thrive. We really don't have a choice, Governor. We are either innovating or we wither. And as a country, how competitive are we out there? Talking about economic opportunities, people who want to invest are only looking for returns. People are looking for returns, they're looking for efficiency, they're looking for production, and they're looking to scale. How do we provide such an environment for young innovators like this? And when I look at this attendance, I'm also very happy because most of the guys in the house are below 30. I think the moderator asked guys here how many are above 30. And I think you are struggling to see a hand up, except the dinosaurs like me. Because this is the group that will bring back Kenya to where it should be, the Silicon Valley of this region. And so I had some speech which I want to read after saying those initial remarks. But I just wanted to say that today, as we gather under this theme for innovation unleashed for economic opportunities, this theme perfectly encapsulates the potential that lies within Nairobi, and Nairobi being the heart of Kenya's innovation ecosystem. Innovation, as you know, has become the cornerstone of progress in today's rapidly evolving world. Nairobi City is pouring with talent, and that talent was showcased when I was just sitting here and just going around to see creativity, entrepreneurial spirit that knows no bounds. The city thrives on innovation, where fusion of cutting-edge technology and vibrant business landscape sparks multitude opportunities for economic growth and prosperity. As Diamond Trust, we are committed to be at the forefront of this transformation journey. Our vision aligns closely with the government's agenda to position Nairobi as an innovative hub, and we firmly believe that digital transformation is key to unlocking immense potential for this country. Our role goes beyond traditional banking, and that's why I was saying that through the DTBX, there we are not really looking at returns, the ROEs and the ROAs, but we are really looking to support the new digital economy, which is really what is going to drive this country to the next level. So through collaboration, we aim to create an ecosystem that fosters innovation, disrupts status quo, leads to charge towards more inclusive and prosperous economy. We understand that the financial landscape is evolving, and that's why DTB has made significant investments in technology. I want to talk about technology investment. It is the largest investment that we've made running year on year for the last 4 years. We're spending billions of shillings building frameworks, structural frameworks, so that we can power this banking sector to the next level. I think if I'm not wrong, we are probably one of the top 3 spenders in technology in the last 3 years in this country, in the banking sector. So we are doing that to ensure that we remain relevant and to remain at the forefront of innovation. So just to conclude, I want to say that together we can unleash the potential of Nairobi as the economic, the digital hub for Africa. And if we work together, together here means these innovators, the founders, if we work together with the county, there's so much that you can find at DTB. There's so much leverage we can have. The traditional banking aside, I want you to leave here thinking that and knowing that DTB has changed the way we used to do business. We want to be working with the new innovators. We want to be working closely with the new, and innovation is just not technology innovation. I talked to Gearbox company, very good stuff there. And personally, my background was in technical schools. I told you I studied in a technical school. So I understand what you're trying to do. You have skill, but you don't have the machinery to do what your idea is. And I'm sure with the county making this available, DTB will be there whenever you have an idea to support it and finance those great ideas that are emerging. Thank you very much for attending, and we hope to have a very fruitful week. At the DTB desk, you'll find people there that you'll have a very useful discussion with, and let us be your partner in this journey. Asante sana.
Another round of applause for Dr. Kennedy Nyakomita. He's the Director of Sales at Diamond Trust Bank, as I mentioned, one of our biggest partners for this event. Your Excellency, in African culture, there's something we normally don't do. We don't go into someone's house and start eating when the host is not aware. So we may have done something small there. We want to briefly just welcome the host, Dr. Rwana, to just tell us to feel at home, and then we can proceed. Very briefly, allow us. Thank you.
The governor, the deputy governor, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. This is not my occasion, but from where we sit, we are happy and privileged that you chose to use our facility. This is a brand new facility. Governor, today is the second time I'm interacting with you. The other day, the president was here during the ID4. And I'm not an innovator, but I also want to indicate that we've also innovated this. And allow me just 2-3 minutes, because I'll never get an opportunity like this, just to tell you what we've done. And I want to indicate that I led the whole process, from formulating the vision to the implementation, execution, up to where we are. We are not yet there, and we'll also be requesting your office so that you can link up with the office of the president in another 2 months for the official opening of the facility. It's still partially operational. Just a quick tour of the facility from where I sit. This building is in 3 chambers. We have chamber A, where we are seated, chamber B, the hanging one, and chamber C, which terminates at the ground level. Chamber A basically has what we call the convention center, and we pride that this is the biggest convention center in East Africa at the moment. Before doing this, we toured even the one in Kigali. I had the opportunity to have toured 16 of them across the continent. So this is just one partition. There are 2 other partitions. So it takes 3,250 if it's what we call a formal gathering like this. But being a politician yourself, if it was a political rally, the hall can take 5,000. Governor, we did not stop there. We have 58 other meeting rooms within the facility, from sizes ranging of 30 to 500. We proceeded also to do an amphitheater, the oval shaped, which is, we refer to it as the critic room. We thought that when we have delegates like this coming in, you will probably need accommodation. We've done a 6-star accommodation facility with a 270 bed capacity. And luckily enough, for those who are keen, the beds and mattresses are just being loaded at the moment from the other side. So that is why we are saying in the next 2 months we will be ready. But we also did recognize, whereas we have youngsters here, that facilities of this magnitude are usually patronized by people who have gotten to the majority age. Majority age in the sense that people who have made some income. So we have an elaborate wellness center within the facility. If you're walking in, from the entrance there, if it's not the grand health staircase that you are seeing, which moves from the ground floor to podium 3, we have an elaborate walking concourse the other side. But when you get to podium 3, we have the steam, we have the sauna, we have the gym, we have the aerobics, we have the swimming pool up here in Infinity, and with the underpiped water, what we refer to as speakers. So even when we are swimming, you can listen to the music. We did not stop there. Let me take you back to the basement. Down here, we have a basement parking, taking 700 vehicles, automated. We also recognize when you come with your nice suits, you need to take them to the laundry. We have the biggest laundry in East Africa, according to the installers. Sheffield, in the basement, the other side. We have elaborate changing rooms, or what we refer to as the back of the house operations. And we have the longest bar or lounge in Africa at 125 meters with a width of 28 meters on the topmost floor. We have also the view decks. We proceeded further, Governor. And said that, you know, when people stay up here, then occasionally, or most of the times, past 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, they need to relax. So apart from what we call the nice lounges, we have what we refer to as the late night destinations, popularly known here in Kenya as the discotheques. So we have the VIP and the normal one at the basement. And we have also what we refer to as an elaborate drive-in where you can walk at 2.85 kilometers within the facility. I can describe this until the very end. You know, teachers, and being a headmaster of this school, you know, we are also like politicians. When given a forum, we tend to speak. I will stop there. And I just want to indicate and to thank Kenyans for having given me the opportunity to serve the continent. I'm not just the director of the institution, but I have been the president of the African Insurance Organization, which is the umbrella body of all the practitioners in the insurance space within the continent. And now my tenure expired this year, but I've been moved to the foundation in Mauritius. So this is the gentleman who is here. Welcome, Anderson.
Another round of applause for Daktari. He's a man who loves big things and is really good at pitching. So I believe we have his blessings now to continue. We have the blessings of the host. And at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to hand over the ceremony to the CCM of Digital Economy and Startups, Nairobi City County, Michael Gumo. And as he does that, Your Excellency, Dr. Nyakomita kept repeating one word, together, together. I believe there's that saying about, you know, walking alone and walking together. And I believe that togetherness here, we have loaded the partners at DTB and we've loaded the host. We also have to load your government as well, because you've not only given us your support, but that of the entire county government and not just the executive alone. I mean, I've seen Robert, I've seen people from your team. So as Michael comes up to stage, allow me also to ask part of your team who may not be able to get a chance to speak here to be upstanding as well. I've seen a number of CECs, I've seen a number of MCAs as well. Please be upstanding as Michael comes. Thank you. We have a microphone so that they can briefly introduce themselves and what they do for the people of Nairobi. Thank you so much.
Yes, Your Excellency, the Governor, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, my colleague, CEC, Chief Officers present, Advisor to the Governor, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. As you've heard, my name is Michael Gumo. I am the CEC of Innovation and Digital Economy. So I am the team leader of this great movement. So whenever you thank Victor, please remember my name as well. Anyway, before I go on with my presentation of my speech, if I say so, allow me to invite the County Assembly leadership present. We have Honorable Robert Alai, who is the Vice Chairman of the ICT Committee, and Honorable Hamisi Malaya, the MCA for Kangemi. So allow me to please invite Honorable Robert Alai to make his remarks on behalf of the Nairobi County Assembly. Asante.
Good afternoon. We are not used to speaking in English. For us politicians, we like to speak to the crowds and the masses in Swahili. Good afternoon. Asante sana to the Excellency, the Governor, the Deputy Governor, the CCs, the Chief Officers present. Asanteni sana for organizing a very nice event. But first, let me invite my brother. You know, he's a military officer, as a retired one. Kuja. Honorable Malaya from Kangemi, please. Karibisha. Just introduce himself. He comes from the ICT committee in the Nairobi City County Assembly. Then I will take from there.
Good afternoon, everybody. His Excellency, our Governor, DG, CEC, Chief Officers, all protocol observed. My name is Hamisi Malaya, a member of ICT team, and I represent the good people of Kangemi slums. Thank you.
Thank you so much. To the Governor, I really appreciate this, the team from the Digital Innovation and Digital Economy. This department was previously called the ICT. So when you hear it's mouthful, please don't blame us. We are just trying to adapt to these very innovative ways of even naming sectors. India. So what I've seen today has impressed me because I'm trained in computer science. I'm a computer scientist from the USIU, and I'm an MCA in Nairobi. When I came in, one thing which was very evident is that there was a lot of manual working of everything. People didn't love automation. But with the new governor, you see the new things happening. I don't think that you saw this with the previous two governors. We've had 5 governors in Nairobi, I think. And the two governments, we have had 5 governors, but 2 governments previously. This is the 3rd government. And what I've seen with this is a breath of fresh air. You can innovate. You can bring a group of innovators together, do hackathons, find ways of solving problems. We've walked through there. We find ways of, collecting garbage, monetizing it, identifying the problems in Nairobi, health sector, transport, and so on. And that's a very big relief to some of us who have been stamping our feet down, trying to tell Nairobi that please innovate, 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 automate. I think the counties, if Nairobi was not so automated, so imagine what is happening in Wajir, Isiolo, Mandera, Kisumu, Kakamega, Taita Taveta, and so on. Imagine what is happening in the 46 other counties, because Nairobi is leading. So for you to see that the governor is pushing for some of these things to happen, we are trying to make Nairobi work better. Cindy, are you guys happy? Or you are hungry? You see? So when I see a lot of techies, good brains, young people coming together from primary schools to the level of secondary schools to universities, and even people who are in the workspace coming to innovate, to find ways of, plugging into. I thought you were going to come here and just see innovation for the sake of innovation. But I'm impressed because you are seeing innovation which can work in the county. Ways of solving traffic mess, ways of working with community health volunteers to ensure that we deliver data. If there's an outbreak of a disease today, how do we identify, how do we alert the community of residents in this city that there's an outbreak? How do we ensure that we identify the top 10 killers in Nairobi today, the top 10 health challenges? How do we make sure that our hospitals are equipped with the drugs? This is where the data is coming in, and I'm very impressed to see Ben Roberts of Liquid, working with the liquid intelligence to ensure that we use data, we harness on IoT, AI, to ensure that we have the data to make us make good decisions for our city. When you go through some of the areas like Kirinyaga Road, River Road, sometimes you don't understand what is the level of crime. We're everywhere in Nairobi, even where we sit. But with big data, we can be able to identify that there's a lot of muggings in this area. This is how the county needs to respond. There's a traffic challenge now. How do we ensure that we open up this area, or we reduce the frequency of the lights in this region without having to put physical beings in roundabouts all the time? I think this is a very beautiful way of running a county, and we have to appreciate Governor Johnson Sakaja for doing this. Don't we? We have to appreciate the governor, and I would like you to give the governor a round of applause for doing this. I repeat that because I am the person who is supposed to be oversighting the governor. But in my political journey also, what I found needful is for us as a country to identify leaders and mold them to the future leaders we want. Sindio? So the space for the presidency might be vacant in the near future, if you ask me in Azimio, or in the not so near future. Sindio? And we might have a candidate. Sindio? So the candidate we are molding to solve problems in a very innovative ways, without throwing stones, without ile njia yetu ya siasa, is Governor Johnson Sakaja. Don't we? So asanteni sana, thank you. We really appreciate you coming here as a county, and we look forward to working with you guys to ensure that we solve the many challenges. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Bwana Robert Alai, Honorable. Your Excellency, the Governor, Deputy Governor. As you've heard, I am Mike Gumo, the team leader. And to be honest, I had prepared a very serious speech for today. But as soon as I walked through those doors and met these young minds, very intelligent minds, I even met a young boy who can qualify to be my son, who just created a website. I decided I'm not that smart. So, through my session, I'll just go through a very short notes which I have. I just wrote them as we were walking through. On behalf of the IDE sector, Nairobi County, I would like to recognize and appreciate the role of the following organizations that have walked through with us to the journey till this day and make this great week for Nairobi happen. I would like to thank, I'm listing them down, please. So I would like to thank DTB, ILO, WorldCoin, Tala, Paystack, Liquid Intelligent, Homeboys, Baraza Media Labs, Kayana, Adanian Labs, Marathon XP, Adapt IT, Oxfam, Sotab, Gearbox, Cellulant, AutoCheck, Africa's Talking, Tier Data, CM Advocates, Branch International, Power, AfriGamer, Aspira, Strathmore, TransUnion, Ujuzi Fursa, MPost, Oye, and DIFSAC. A lot more would have loved to be here with us today, but you're here with us, and we really appreciate the effort you've put in, as long as the county government as a whole, and my team for working effortlessly. We were here yesterday. And Governor, this is a great ceremony, and I feel proud as your team leader. Clap for me, please. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people. Nairobi County values community and market-driven approach, which is the only way to ensure interventions are effective and resonate with stakeholders. The community approach is in line with the national government drive of adoption of public-private partnerships in supporting the development agenda. The approach not only brings private sector efficiency in program implementation, but program sustainability. We welcome feedback and further support to the sector in line with the CIDP 2023 to 2027, which will ensure we create opportunities for our youth in line with His Excellency the Governor and the Deputy Governor's manifesto, whilst creating value for the county, corporates, among other stakeholders, all for the benefit of Kenya's socio-economic development. With those short remarks, please allow me to invite His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Nairobi City County, His Excellency Njoroge Mushiri. Asanteni.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Nairobi City County, Governor Sakaja, CCs here present, members of the County Assembly, the partners, and all protocols observed. I think today is an extremely important day for me. Before I came in here, I believed that I understand technology because of my past. I used to work at the University of Nairobi, teach some computer science, and I thought I knew technology, but I think after walking through and seeing what I've seen there, including those youngsters, I'll be very careful going forward in claiming that title, because the knowledge that I have seen, the innovation that I have seen, the activities that young people are undertaking, they're just wonderful. I think it is fantastic to be able to see the kind of innovation that is going on here. And this is innovation to solve problems, to create employment, to improve our lifestyles, and to ensure that we are able to work in a much more comfortable way. And of course, the byproduct of all that is you make money. That's a byproduct of all the innovation that is going on there. So it's fantastic. It's good to see all the good ideas that are going on there. And it's fantastic that the team from the county, under the leadership of the governor, has strongly sponsored this to ensure that we give our young people an opportunity to improve themselves and to solve problems for us in the county. Nairobi is particularly well endowed in terms of people and the skills they have, the exposure they have, and therefore we can take advantage of this and create a thriving economy around technology, around innovation, and around problem solving for the kind of urban challenges that we have in Nairobi. And then we can export those to the other 46 counties. So that will be our contribution to society. So thank you very much for all of you who have participated in this, who have worked very hard to ensure that this takes place successfully, and who have given and committed their resources to ensure that we expose our young people to these innovations that we are seeing today. I'd like, at this point, therefore, to associate myself with everything that has been done before and say that as a county government of Nairobi and Governor Sakaja, we shall continue to work with you to ensure that we produce the best outcomes for our county. With those few remarks, I would like now to ask you all to join me so that we welcome His Excellency, the Governor of Nairobi City County, His Excellency Governor Sakaja, to come and talk to us. Your Excellency.
Asante sana. Please let's take our seats. Wow. Deputy Governor, CCs, Chief Officers, innovators, techpreneurs, techies, partners, sponsors, students, hamjambo. Good afternoon. You know, I don't understand, and I was just asking Victor now, how it is, I was asking Victor and Mike, that Nairobi has never held an innovation week by the county government of Nairobi. A few years ago, I was in Palo Alto or Alto Palo? Palo Alto in San Francisco. San Francisco is known as the Silicon Valley, or rather Silicon Valley is there. And I was part of a delegation of members of parliament from across the world. We were under the NDI, National Democratic Institute. And when we went there, we went to One Hackaway, is whose headquarters? Do you know? One Hackaway. That is Facebook. We went to Facebook headquarters, we went to, I think, Google, all these big companies, leaders in technology. And then after that, I got a chance to speak at a place called the Institute for the Future. When I was speaking there, I was actually on a panel discussion. After that panel discussion, there's a lady who came to me, she's from there. And she said, you know, I've always wondered, and I hope you can give me the answer, that how is it that we're seeing all of this amazing innovation coming out of Africa, and more so out of Kenya? What is the government doing? Because we're seeing so much coming and we'd like to do it as well here. I told her, first of all, a lot of that innovation is coming out despite government, not because of government. It is coming out in spite of government, despite government, and government needs to a great extent stay away. But we're now a global, you know, the world is a global economy driven by technology, powered by information. And I told them that the same tools that the young people in San Francisco, in California, in Italy have to develop are the same tools the young people in Africa have. But the needs are different. And necessity is the mother of invention. And so I explained, while you people are now innovating for just luxury things mainly, our people are innovating to provide health solutions, to connect people to water, to, you know, to get families together. And that is what is happening in Africa. And of course I had to say that this might be Silicon Valley, but we are from the Silicon Savannah. That is who we are. And that is where we are today. I've been so impressed going round. And I really want to thank the IDE sector led by Gumo. I want to thank you for bringing this together as an inaugural Nairobi Innovation Week, Innovate Nairobi. The inaugural one run by the government. I know there are very many interventions, and that's what happens when you have a nascent, if you can call it that, sector with many players. The role that government has, and I'll speak to it when I get to my speech, is really to facilitate. Not much to regulate, not to stifle, not to be a hindrance, but to facilitate and to give you the environment you require to be the best of what you can be. Now, if our greatest export in Kenya, we don't have oil. I know they said we had oil. I don't know if it's still there. But labda kupaka also. But we don't have proper oil deposits. We don't have much gold. We don't have a lot of diamonds. We don't have, our resources are not below the ground. Our greatest resource in Nairobi and in Kenya is above the ground. And it's our people, it's these young people, it is you. So our work must then be to focus on that greatest resource, which is the people of Kenya. Earlier this morning I had a delegation from the United Kingdom, and I was explaining to them that we're such a young country, a median age of 19. But that has always been seen as a challenge or a problem is an opportunity and is our greatest asset. these young, smart, innovative people that we have. And so I want to commit to you that your county government will do whatever it takes to develop this human capital, to make sure that we can thrive and that we can export solutions, especially solutions that are rapidly scalable through supporting the startup ecosystem and the tech community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an immense pleasure to welcome so many exceptional innovators, entrepreneurs, techies, partners, sponsors, and Nairobians to this inaugural Nairobi Technology Week. I want to begin by distinguishing innovation and digital economy. We all know how good Nairobi's innovators and creatives have been at coming up with creative answers to problems, from payment applications, which everyone talks about, to eating out. We don't doubt that we have the energy and the creativity to find solutions to any number of our problems. The difficulty is connecting these solutions to the problems that they're designed to solve, iterating them so that we can get better with time, and building the networks, the skills, and the institutions that will let us innovate faster and let innovators reap the benefits of their creativity. We have shown that we're good at innovating, which is the business of finding new solutions to problems we all know. But we need to make sure that we're just as good at the business of building a digital economy. And the business of building a digital economy needs to be deliberate. It can't just keep on happening as it has been happening. There must be investment, there must be due attention, and it must be intentional. I have been keen on this for a while, personally. When I served the people of Nairobi, when I served you people as your senator, together with colleagues, we drafted a startup bill of 2021, which eventually passed in December in the Senate of that year, but it didn't go through the National Assembly. I think there were a number of hurdles set up, and we worked with Victor on that time, and with a number of people around the startup ecosystem. Now, within our group, there were innovators from Nigeria who were part of our discussion. So we ended up not having a startup bill, but they quickly took it and went to Nigeria. They domiciled that conversation in the executive office of the then President Buhari. And so Nigeria has a startup act drafted by the governor of Nairobi. And Nairobi has no startup law. We have no framework yet. I'm very happy that the president has been able to pick this up through the CS Chelugui, isn't it? That's the ministry that are dealing with it. We've given them what we had as a draft. And I will tell you some of the things we wanted to do with that law. I know to many people it was controversial. Kenyans can always find a reason to fight anything, by the way. You know? If I tell you guys now, we'll break and there's no food, you'll complain. But if I say there's lunch, you'll now complain about the quantity. If it's a lot, we are wasting. If it is little, we are mean. There's always a reason. Such a great, noble initiative where we had benchmarked many countries around the world, Tunisia, Italy, all of those countries, was actually to assist this ecosystem. I remember before we put pen to paper, we sat down with Victor, with Endeavor, with a number of Kenyan startups, Cellulant, Sendi, Twiga, which is likely our first unicorn, soon to be. And we asked them, during your innovation journey, what is it that if government did, you would scale faster? And they were able to tell us. And that is what we intended to put in. Of course, there are different stages of legislation. So there's what could not come in Senate that was going to come in the National Assembly. We intended to create, of course, not just incubators, but to allow and to incentivize those who want to create incubators. We wanted to encourage startups, not by supplying capital, because government cannot afford, by the way, let no one lie to you. That money is not there. But government can de-risk investors who want to put in money, venture capitalists. There's a lot of money out there. And there's innovation here. And there's a huge market. These solutions are not just to be exported to counties in Kenya, but the whole region with a big, big market. Many countries look up to Kenya. Once they see Kenya has taken a certain trend, they follow. But if we can de-risk investment into our startups, that once we categorize whatever innovation you have, whatever your idea you have as a scalable solution, and we register you as such, then if an investor puts in money, we can say 30% of that investment can be guaranteed by us as government if it doesn't work out in 3-4 years. Let me tell you, people will flood this place. Just next month, I think next month or the month of October, we're hosting the first global summit of Kaufman Fellows. Kaufman Fellows, I'm sure you know, one of the biggest group of venture capitalists and investors. And when I talk to Jeff Harback, because we chat a lot, they're really excited to come and see what we can showcase. And we want to be able, even from those of you who are going to exhibit this week, to profile some of you. These are people who've invested in Netflix and huge. There's a lot of capital out there that just needs us to be prepared and to be ready. And that is what our commitment to you is. So we intended to create that framework through which that capital will get to you, that support will get to you, through which we will do this Victor's favorite word, the triple helix, where we connect academia and research, you as innovators, with the market. Because that connection is what always misses, and there's no go-to-market strategy. We are proud of the start that we've made that year, and we're even prouder that since now the people of Nairobi trusted myself and Njoroge Mushiri with the responsibility of leading this county, we have committed even closer cooperation with the tech ecosystem, with startups, and to continue cooperating with partners locally and internationally, our techies, our creatives and entrepreneurs. And I keep talking about our creatives because you're all creatives. The first thing we did when we got in was to lift a very archaic and colonial and silly ban on photography in the CBD. Like, why would you stop people from coming to just take photos? Now people drive within the CBD on Saturday or Sunday and you'll see young people, creatives, taking photos, taking videos, making money. So just stop, not even doing much. Stopping things that don't make sense is also part of providing leadership. Before I say more about policy or events that we hope to see this week, because I'm sure it's going to be an exciting week. I can't wait to come again and again and listen more, have deeper interactions, better than just the walkthrough that I was able to do. Let me say something about 3 key areas which we hope to see clear progress. The first is government. We have all seen the kind of difference automation of services has made, payments being quicker, accountability is easier, corruption is harder. I keep saying technology ndio adui ya ukora. The more we innovate, the more we use technology, the less avenues there are to steal, the less avenues there are to, for pilferage or malfeasance, because we reduce human interaction with cash, we create efficiencies, and people are served much better. But we shouldn't rest content with what we've seen so far. We need to get better at automating services and see things from the end. We need to get better at informing Nairobians what public services are available for us as a government and where they are. And we need to make it easier and possible for the people of Nairobi to hold us as leaders accountable. I really look forward. I've seen Africa's Talking hackathon. That was really exciting to see the ideas you're thinking about. And I said, we are the first customer. We need those ideas. And we want to create a hacker space at City Hall where we give you a challenge and say, look, these are the issues we're thinking about. Transport, water, about health, our healthcare, garbage collection, solid waste management, innovate. The winning innovation gets the tender to actually do that job. You know, I think that's how we then build the ecosystem, if we're able to do that. I'm sure the ideas you have are much more effective than the same old companies we've always had. The same old few people who have been doing business with government. If we throw that challenge at you, that think through this thing, the best idea gets funded, the best idea gets financed, the best idea is made into a business through our support. I hope that is something you'd be keen on and that you'd be interested in doing. Amani stories ajaba. Are you ni mzuri? See, we can do that, yeah? You know, traffic modeling, to see how do we sort out this issue of the traffic and the light system, the intelligent transport systems. You can do it better than many of these people who've been doing it for ages. This is the opportunity for you to do. This is the chance. And this is not an event. We've been very clear with my team, Mike and Victor. This is not a one-off event that we tick a box that we did an innovation week. And then we go and do other things and remember next year, it's time. No. This is a new way of doing things, where we are part of that ecosystem and where we work together throughout the year. I'm sure we'll see a lot of progress. Of course, the second is now collaboration between you startups and tech community with capital. And you know, I think I've already said that there's effort to do that, not just with the bill. And by the way, even without the bill, we will do it. Yeah? Legislation, sometimes you legislate when you see not everybody understands or is making sense. But if you have sensible leadership, you don't need legislation. You can actually do it. You know, you can't legislate common sense. It's very difficult. And you can't legislate good behavior. You can't legislate values. But because not everybody is thinking from the same page, you need those laws. But we will still do it, and I'm sure the ICT committee in the county assembly, and the vice chair is here, Robert, Hamisi, you're there, and Jogu and the rest. Let us see what to do so that we can protect these companies that are coming up and these ideas and these innovations. We should not have trouble doing this. We have an established set of private and public ICT institutions and the deepest pool of capital in the region. And many times you also take for granted where you are. Nairobi is Africa's capital. This is Africa's capital. This is the economic hub of the continent. This is the center of the world. In 5 hours, you're in Dubai. In 8 hours, you're in London. In 13, you're in New York. Of course, now then you come and get stuck in traffic here for 4 hours. But that we're sorting out. But it opens you up to the rest of the globe. I hear so much fuss about Rwanda, Kigali. The GDP of Nairobi is more than twice that of Rwanda as a country. The whole country. Sijui kama menelewa? Or which language works here now? I show you a code for that. The GDP of Nairobi is $28 billion. Rwanda is 11. This is the place where everybody should be. So we will do our part, but we also need you as a community, as an ecosystem, to do your part. So that together, we can make it work. Yeah? We never said, let Sakaja make Nairobi work. It's us together. Let's make it work. Let's make Nairobi work. And so, even as you sort out the policy issues and find backers, the third thing for us is a streamlined entry for foreign partners and firms. This is the one area where we truly need the world to be a global village. We really need to erase the imaginary lines within the continent that distinguish us, that we can't do business, with other countries in Africa, yet we're a huge market. We've been put into small Balkans to limit us as a continent. If we spoke with one voice as one market, no other part of this world would touch us. But just the same way, if you had a goat for 2 hours, I don't know how many of you have had goats. or if you tether it to a tree, I'm sure Muteti you've done so. If you tether a goat to a tree for 2 hours and then you remove the rope, it will stay in that, it will not move out. That is why we find ourselves as a continent that has lacked esteem for a long time and still tied in boundaries set up imaginarily by colonialists. That's why we support the Africa Free Trade Area. It is easier to go to that New York than to go to Botswana. Why? Unless we remove that, our startups will never scale to this level they should scale. They would never. And I'm glad at the continental level, our president is leading the charge on that, and we're also leading it at our level within the network we have with mayors and governors across the continent. Of course, it is embarrassing that most of our most successful startups are not registered in Kenya. You know that. And you know why. Yeah? And certain things we're negotiating with the head of state and the National Assembly to lift. Certain tax breaks. Certain incentives for companies that have identified themselves and pick in a very objective criteria that they actually deserve to be identified as such, must be protected. You must incentivize those people. You must get work permits quickly for their partners. You must not have issues with how the money moves. Bring them in. We need it. It will spur such great growth for our country. So, I think I don't need to read much more of this. I want to say a little about what we've already done. I'm glad this sector has done so well. Let's clap for my team. Let's clap for Mike and Victor for your passion, for your tenacity, for your consistency. For the first time, we have signed up a score of ecosystem partners, more than 47 of those partners. And I want to thank all of you partners, all of these ones here, and the ones who have not been mentioned here, for agreeing to work with us. And I was very excited when I saw CM, CM Advocates. Where are they? Because part of what they're trying to sort out is beyond the tech. How do you make sure your business survives? Most of our businesses don't last 3 years or 4 years. In the 4th year, they've closed. Because without the proper support, a whole suite of business support services, without it, you close. You can't distinguish between your money and the money of the business, or between whether it is a hobby or a business. And when you don't do that, even with a brilliant idea, you don't make it past the 3rd year. You know? So when you have a suit and to sandbox these innovations, these interventions, whether it is legal services, accounting services, you know, business advisory services, that our startups can be able to access, then everything else will become, you know, trial and, you know, false starts. And we've had too many false starts that we know about, you know. I was very excited to see Gearbox, you know, and what you're doing. And I've told you that every county is now putting up a county aggregation industrial parks. What we've decided for Nairobi, because most counties are getting warehousing to store their tomatoes and vegetables and produce so that they cut out the middleman and help. That is good. But cash crop ya Nairobi, si waru, ni sindio? As our cash crop is brains, it's our young people. So Nairobi's KIPE, Aggregation Industrial Park, is going to incubate and actually to create a platform for startups and look for the incentives for them, do manufacturing like what you're doing. So for this housing that is being done, and I'm told this year, just because of the rates that have gone up, 95 billion is available. All those doors, windows, furniture will come from Nairobi's Aggregation and Industrial Park. And I hope we're working together with that, Daktari. Yeah? And you, Muteti, with the Juakalis. So how do we put common user facilities? I've loved those machines I've seen that they can use. And as Victor said, when your startup is hardware focused, it's a bit more expensive. So we can buy the machines, we, as a government. We will buy machines as Nairobi County government, the lathe machines, I don't know the names, hizo maranda kubwa, those big things that your normal guy in Kamkunji or along Gong Road or the guys in Huruma can't buy for themselves. Let them come. We're setting up between Utalii College and Mathare Mental Hospital. All that land, that 10 acres, is where we're putting it up, and a showroom at the front. And within that space as well, to innovate ideas. Tutafanya hiyo pamoja? It was very nice and exciting to see Liquid. And where the ladies were speaking about carbon. You're so smart. Carbon capture, and you had Lenana, and there's what you're doing with, yes, there's your partner. Nairobi, we seek to be the first net zero city on the continent. They have shown us a machine that they have innovated. One machine is the equivalent of how many trees? 1,000 trees. The capturing of carbon from that one machine is like 1,000 trees. Jameni, please clap for them. I mean, and the examples are endless. The Internet of Things, IoT, yeah? And the interventions around smart meters and water systems, Web3. You guys, you imagine you have a governor who knows those things. I look forward to a change in how we look at things and how we do things. And we can only do it if we do it together. So asanteni sana, I want to wish you a wonderful week. Please don't lose these connections, don't lose these contacts. Let's be part of it. Come to City Hall. We'll create space for you. Come set up. We have the best internet. I'm sure you'll make sure of it. Internet, na kila kitu na nafasi. Let's innovate, let's work, and let's make you make money. Because you must make money out of your ideas. I'm confident that we'll achieve this as well as a broader policy shift. We need to make this county the home and the hub of the continent's digital innovation. So I want to close with a word of gratitude, of course, to all of you for coming, for accepting the invite. Victor was stressing me to do that video. And one Saturday I said, okay, record. And I invited you to the Tech Week. And imagine if we set all of this up and you didn't come. It would have failed. So thank you for coming. And when you go home and when you online tweet, invite people. Tell people something is happening in Nairobi that they should be a part of. So asanteni sana, our partners, DTB, and all our friends whose extraordinary generosity has made this week possible. Asanteni, and let's make Nairobi work. Thank you.
Once again, a round of applause for His Excellency Johnson Sakaja, the Governor of the City of Nairobi County. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of this opening ceremony. Allow me to just highlight some of the few things and takeaways I got from the Governor's address. One, be intentional in whatever you do if you want to make progress. Number two, he has actually committed his support. This is rare, guys. We all need to do this together. He kept mentioning together, and I remember Dr. Nakamoto saying the same thing. We need to do this together. But most importantly, he has committed something that is sometimes lacking, and I'm not saying all the time, sometimes lacking government support, and he has committed. So thank you so much, Governor. Before we let you go for lunch and resume the afternoon sessions, allow me to once again thank the Governor, His Excellency Johnson Sakaja, his deputy, and the entire team who have made it here today, alongside you, entrepreneurs, startups, industry people, policymakers, and everyone else who has made it today. The conference has only begun, and we've already achieved a lot, and we'll be here all the way up to Friday. Let's look forward to making meaningful connections and growing our economy. Before we go, allow me to ask His Excellency the Governor, his deputy, the CEC, Victor, the chairman of the ICT committee. Let's have a quick photo session on the stands, right? Yes, thank you. So I'm not very good with photography, but I'm sure the team. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause as our chief guest leaves. But as he does that, it is my responsibility to remind you that we have only concluded the opening ceremony, but there are other sessions happening in the afternoon in different rooms. So allow me to once again urge you to be able to look for the correct rooms. We will be having two forums and events running side by side. We'll have FinTech, and we'll also have digitization of the informal sector. Both of them will run between 2 to 4 p.m. So please find a way to the respective rooms if you're interested in either of the discussions. One about FinTech and the other one about the digitization of the informal sector. Between 4 to 5 p.m., we'll have the connectivity space, that is the fireside chat. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. As we prepare to leave, once again, I'd like to mention that it's been my absolute honor to be able to be the MC of this session. We were to have a quick panel discussion after, but of course, because of time constraints, we could not be able to do that. So once again, thank you so much for all of you who have come out to make this possible, and let's continue working together, making meaningful connections, and growing our economy between now and Friday as we continue moving forward. Thank you so much. My name is Victor Kiprop. Looking forward to connecting with each one of you. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Guys, as you leave, my apologies. I believe I may have given the incorrect information regarding the afternoon sessions. Please, my apologies. Once again, the sessions that are running concurrently are 1 about talent, and number 2, the next one should be about EdTech. So if you're interested in talent, please find the respective room. If you're interested in EdTech, please find the respective room. Again, once again, my apologies for that. Thank you so much.